Father. Thank you, Father, for this difficult path that you have me on. It seems an almost near impossible feat to tackle. So let's get some light on this subject here. Thank you, Father. Thank you for all the good and all the bad. You tell us we must thank you for all things. You're the creator of all things, good and bad, good and evil. So we're going to make this another evidentiary stream. Obviously, my life is in jeopardy. I have called the sheriff's office again now, reporting this Lake County Sheriff's Office. Lake County Sheriff's Department was in the chat last time under the guise Lake County Sheriff's Office. Wonder if I have a picture of that on this. I don't think I do. But anyways, we're going to go over me calling Lake County Sheriff's non-emergency line. And these people are absolutely criminal. Even this dispatcher, man, a stinking robot. Hello, I'm calling. I would like the incident number from yesterday. I called this line. It took me 10 minutes to get that guy to give me the incident number from yesterday. Oh, no, you got to call this guy's going to... You'd think I was asking this guy to rope the moon, you know. So we're going to go over that on this stream. They said the Lake County Sheriff's Office is going to SWAT my house. This will be the second time. So please call Lake County Sheriff's Office and tell them to stand down. What the hell is this all about? So here we go again. Will it happen again? We'll see. Want to see the first swatting of the house ranch where they wrecked? Obviously, you can see my eye has been, didn't realize what was going on until, thank you for a viewer for pointing it out, one of the subscribers, that I really don't see the eyes. I just see you guys almost on the other side of the screen. So Carl, they said they were going to come SWAT the house again. Remember, Lake County Sheriff's Department was in the live stream telling me to stop. They were preparing some mental warrant or something. I posted on the local community page. I opened up the can of worms. They sent somebody here yesterday, and I had it on the stream. I told this gentleman, do you have a warrant? He said, no. I told him to leave. He continued to approach. That is called criminal trespassing. So I'm trying to get him arrested for criminal trespassing. This is Elijah's investigator, and the reason why is that's called criminal trespass. It's breaking the law, so I'm not trying to do it. That is within the confines of the law. There's nothing there. That is the law. That is the law. Criminal trespassing. Somebody tells you to leave, you got to leave. This is my property. It's clearly marked. He drove onto the property. When he got out of his vehicle, I asked him if he had a warrant. He said no. I told him to leave. The minute he approached me, I called Dan Spencer. We should record that. That's okay. It'll all be recorded. I called Dan Spencer and said, I could have shot that dude today. That's on you, because his name. I said, your name, you sent him out. You could have had a man killed today, because under my Fourth Amendment, I could have shot a man dead yesterday. And I had not anything of the sort in mind, but I was thinking that he might shoot me, because if you were watching him, he was coming at me quickly, and I was trying to keep an eye on his hands. He had that thing in his paper, but it happened really quick. You don't approach somebody when they tell you to. I told him to leave and he didn't, I could have shot him legally dead too. That'd have been the third person that has come on my property using my Fourth and Second Amendment that I could have done, and I have not. And they're going to come after me some mental thing, or because community members are trying to gang up against me now. So I knew when I opened up that can of worms, I gave him a chance. Today was the day. I knew it. That was it. It was the last day. I pushed all in yesterday, remember? Said, I'm not doing this anymore, this whole stupid warrant thing. And even before that, obviously, prognosco, I knew of it coming in. But so John Mogul, Dan Spencer almost had this man killed. And I called his office and told him that. You almost had a man killed today. Your name is on there. Look at that. Thank you, Father. Oh, Father, oh, Father. Look at, he had to sign his name twice. He had to sign his name twice to declare two witnesses. Dan, as the Father always declares, this is all glory to the Father, all glory to the Most High. Thank you, Father, for giving this meek gospel, this meek document. And under these meek document and meek gospel, brothers, sisters, I still could have killed that man dead. That wouldn't have been unpleasing to the Father. I wouldn't have fallen out of his grace or salvation yesterday. I have the right to protect myself. It's just dirt. It's just dirt. I'd rather my inheritance is the rock. He's the petrol. And it's just dirt. And they let these eyes take my crown. And it wouldn't. I would be breaking this covenant as your teacher and a pastor. Remember, their evidence against me is that if backed into a corner strike, did I? Oops, that shoots that out of the basket, huh? Elijah, he didn't resist. He got shot, for not resisting. My daughter got kidnapped, and she went kidnapped. They kidnapped my daughter, so no more hiding this. If it costs me my life, brothers and sisters, I do believe I could potentially, but I have to be like Daniel and not worry, because I am already in that den of lions. They're already trying to eat me. So, Father writes all things, and these men in these black robe are not, my judgment comes from Shiloh, not the Father. I love that. You cannot take that crown from me. Nobody can steal that except for self. I can have that taken. That's what it's about to me. Hopefully you see that as your teacher and pastoring this gospel. It's all about the prize, all about the air. We're in the age of air, brothers and sisters. We already made it. So they can't take that from me. Can't declare that I already told you where we're at celestially on the line. We are that remnant. We are living in that last book. I am Revelation. Thank you, Father, for this aletheia. Thank you for that book. It's my favorite. He said, I am. And he said, the lamb. Aries, the ram, I am. Oh, on there. Do we get some sparse space farce weather? So anyways, let's go back over this. I did call because I want to do an evidentiary stream too. Thank you, Father, for always creating all things. Nothing is not happening without the will of the Father. Horrible, terrible, terrible, terrible. Another terrible, terrible, terrible day, but I'm still, it's all about the crown, and it's all about the resistance, and it's all about, we're going to go over a video where it took me 10 minutes just to get my incident number from yesterday. It's not, I finally broke it down. Is it illegal for you to give it to me? No. Well, then just give me the damn. You'd think I would ask these people, to rope the moon sometimes, I could have shot 3 men dead on this property, and I didn't. All I'm asking him to look is at the 180 hours that my son completed, and they still won't look at it. Even as that investigator came on that property, this property yesterday, I asked him, what about Elijah's 180 hours? And he said he didn't know anything about this. Whole case is about that. And this is how I'm supposed to be confident that this guy, who only by the will of the Father, it just doesn't make, it's only his will. It's just, I can't. He said, be comforted that I am. Thank you for being with me in these days, brothers and sisters. Thank you for being part of this gospel and to be a witness to what has been declared upon the line and celestially, and what's been declared the gospel more than anything, that the coming of the King is nigh at hand, and be ye ready, because nobody knows the day or the hour. And that could be today, tonight for me. But when he says, gird my service until I return, is whenever he returns. So it doesn't matter. That's you lay there for, it's just time. So what is time? So, but he will rise from the ashes. Everybody will be seventh trumpet, cosmos, an orderly arrangement of trumpets. Shofar, they blew the shofar, the horn, when that final trump sounds. That's before. This is not, that comes before this. This is the final, the last. We got a ways to go. I hope you understand where they're taking this rock, guys. Before I leave, please You're not under the law of flesh. Jesus Christ, the Hamashiach, there's more than one Jesus, so you might want to be careful. He said there would be many Christ, many Jesus will come in my Shem, my name, my authority. So we're not under the Noahide laws, the 7 Noahide laws. This is much bigger than this whole world even sees. It's just being brick by brick, block by block paved with good intentions. So I hope you see the teaching of this gospel about the gospel. The gospel is not the 7 Noahide laws that you rip my Shiloh, my Shem, my Agape, my authority, who formed, wasn't hung on a cross, who formed, crucified, formed the shape, tells you to carry your cross, didn't carry a cross. I hope you understand, you rip him down, you go put yourself back under where the wages of sin was death. Judge that shall be judged. Even in this modern day, this corporation, your bond, your corporate, that is you, sold on the stock exchange through your W-2. Are you a corporation? If you act as a corporation and God says you will be judged by the law, the Shem, through Shiloh, because he's the mediator, you be judged by that Shem that you go by. He stood up to the law, the halakha and the haggadah, forwarding of their jots. He said, don't even change one. And he made it quite clear. You forwarded my Shem. Remember this, these women are out here whoring, selling themselves on the streets to feed themselves. He was pissed. He whipped, under this covenant of not of flesh, right? He said, after my own counsel and my own pleasure, this don't apply to you. He whipped. No, this covenant doesn't. That was 2,600. When he hung on that cross, that's when this covenant became anew. 2,600 years ago. Remember, rip him down from that Shiloh, my love, that tree. You put yourself right back under this capital letter, judge that shall be judged. Are you a corporation? Your mark is the word karak, or character. There is no physical mark. Will willingly give their authority to it. God whipped over it. Fees. God doesn't like fees. God doesn't like one to be above the other. Not one. Hados, he said, I am Hados. I am the Aletheia. There's no other way to the Orizo. I am Aries. The wages of sin is death, 613 statutes and commandments, 2 houses. Old Testament, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Old, Noahide, old. Watch out for a man in a red hat. My warning, if I'm not here and it happens, you'll go, oh crap. Yeah, don't rip my Hamashiach down from the tree. It's going to happen. It doesn't matter. It's written that way. They'll give their power and authority to that. Whip them over these fees and these authority to the old. God doesn't like capitalism, brothers, sisters. God doesn't like authority over another. No, he is the authority. He said before Abraham was, I am. This is the Shem we are under. Only the bride will follow these commandments. Only the bride will love him. Shiloh. When he returns, they'll be given. These are the heirs to the will of God, that new living will, as he made a covenant. He divorced his bride of old. Remember? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, the old law, the Testament. We're not under that flesh. He fulfilled that. He said it is fulfilled. He fulfilled his own prophecy. No stone left upon another, a destruction of the physical temple. Not a broken bone in his body. The unblemished, hung on a tree, sacrificial, fulfilling all the rituals. Last Supper, they ate what? Lamb. He said before Abraham was, I am. David called him the Lamb of God. Is this making any sense? From the tribe of Judah, Shiloh, my love, the whole one who was the inheritance, I warn you about a taking of your crown. Oh, there'll be a crowning moment, won't there? It'll be waves. The word says, not great again. It says intense pains, birthing pains. Tabernacles like wandering Jews in the desert, temporary places of worship. Intense tabernacles. Thank you, Father, for this gospel. This is it. The heirs to the kingdom of heaven. Will they be lifted like Elijah? Elijah. He said he would send you Elijah, a flaming chariot of fire. He had eyes of fire and the voice of many waters. He said, go to the man who's pouring out the water. It'll happen in this heir age. Heir, the heirs of the kingdom of heaven, which is not above your head. He said to meet him in the sky, which is above your head. Heaven is not above your head. God is not in the sky. Froward is the word, brothers and sisters. Mammon has forwarded this, perverted and changed and twisted his Shem, and they rip him down from a tree, as I, guilty myself, have done often. Put myself under the old, condemn myself, thinking I'm bringing somebody to God, thinking I could be saved, thinking that I can celebrate anything and get in his graces, thinking that I can bring people to God. I spent nearly a whole decade thinking I was a fisher of men, telling people about fortunes in heaven and piles of treasure. And why has he got wings? God said, if I did not call out to their hearts. All these religious people say, God knows in my heart. God says the heart is continuously filled with wickedness. That's why he sent his messengers, Matthew, Luke, his apostles, in his Shem and his I am under this new covenant. Deny self-idolatry, idolism, pornea, idolatria. Latria is to serve. Idu is these lying thieves that'll take your crown, these eyes. Idolism and image. Image, you can see image, anything you can see. Dirt, that's why we kill that man dead here on this property, and that every legal authority and by others will, under this New Testament, I would not have been breaking that covenant. But I am a meek man, and I will not fall for dirt. He doesn't like to like dirt. Eyes, anything you can see came from the dirt. It'll go back to the dirt, including you. Anybody you've ever known came from the dirt and will go back to the dirt. God's not in the sky. He said, meet him in the sky. You might want to study his agape. He said, don't change a jot or a tittle. You speak any Hebrew? You study in Hebrew? Do you read the book of Timothy? Adding to your faith? You want to be careful. Revelation, I am revelation. Apocalypse, I am apocalypse. Whoa. That's his last jots, yods, tittles, all his last word. Do not add, or you will receive of all of the written plagues that are in this agape, my authority, my Shem, these 66 books, this new covenant. Remember, he told you deny yourself, take up your cross daily. Deny self daily, take up your cross daily. Self, pornea, these eyes, remember what you see. Deny, take up your cross daily, deny daily. Under this covenant. This is the covenant of the bride, brothers and sisters. Only those that hear that harper's harp will hear this aletheia under this covenant. Because it's not of the dirt laws. They're not a corporation. They stand in against perversion of celebration, rituals, and customs. And men in black robes, and they'll put you in their synagogues. And it's what they do to the bride. They suffer for his Shem's sake. They were all martyred, brothers and sisters. The apostles martyred for Christ, the Hamashiach, under this covenant. He said, follow after me. Hallelujah. He said, before Abraham was, I am. He said, I am the Hados. He said, I am the Orizo. You speak any Greek? You don't need to speak Greek. Do you know the gospel? Are you taking up your cross daily? He said, who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves daily. Take up your cross daily. Are you taking up your cross daily? That's what he said, daily. And follow after me. Are you doing what he did? Are you standing up to this perversion? You guys are silent. That's all right. I know the gospel's intense, brothers, in tabernacles. I know it is. It's not this normal other Jesus. Paul said they will come teaching another gospel that I did not, and they threw that man backwards off a cliff. That was a stoning. It wasn't just rocks. Actually, it was 20-kilogram boulders. But he was martyred for teaching the gospel in the churches, wasn't he? So most people don't love these truths, brothers and sisters. So don't worry about it. I won't try to change. You just sit in there and you just hope you learn something. You have to stand against the perversion of the law. You don't celebrate anything. You're not against the graces of God by doing anything in this world other than what he chooses. He writes all things. He says, I am the Alpha. I create all things. I am the beginning. And I am the end. I am the Omega. I create everything that was ever written, everything that ever was. I, God, create good, everything not written, everything that ever will be. He said, I do all these things after my own counsel, and I do them for my own pleasure. And he said, I, God, create evil. You're not doing it. It's order gay. Or are you quick to wrath? Quick to anger. I was trying to get a scene of fly, guys. It's pretty cold out here. Where'd that fly come? All right, let's have a little conversation. I have to do another evidentiary stream here. So maybe I'll start another one here separately. No, that's all right. Let them listen to that. Let these people on these juries or whoever's going to, maybe they'll come shoot me first. I won't go in front of a jury. What do you think? Oh, man. So Let's move this over here. So let's get back a little bit. Okay. You guys hear me okay? This is a shadow ban channel, so your chat maybe might not come up. Have the Lake County Sheriff's Department in this chat telling me they're going to come SWAT this house again, so might want to be careful what you put in the chat. Let's go ahead and do this phone call. I'm going to try to get an incident, and so I'll do if they call me, which I don't think. Yesterday I called them, and I'm trying to, again, not trying. I'm this is the law. They got to do things by the law, don't they? See, signed twice to send this man out here to this property, and I could have shot him dead under the covenant of this New Testament, brothers and sisters. And I stood down because it's just dirt, and I know God's gaze to me, and I'm not going to sit there, and they're going to have to eat their own, breaking the law. So no matter what happens to this flesh, I want you to know I'm acting and haven't done, I'm just calling for the incident number from yesterday, and these people just cover up their own crime over and over, and it's because most people fear the law. I only fear the judgment of Shiloh, and that I make a mistake and I rip him down, I get my name blotted out of that book. Or I come back to this earth and I can't see the Father, and if you understand this teaching, I wouldn't want there to be a new heaven and a new earth. That's not somewhere in the sky or below your feet. If you ever read the Word of God, most people think heaven is in the sky. Most people think earth is below their feet. That's not what a new heaven and a new earth is. Not somewhere else. It's the ruling class, the upper class, the ruling class, and the pants, and the ruled is the earth. So people are very they don't study the Word of God, and that's not for me to decide. They have to do it on their own. He said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. So God makes us do what we're doing. I said earlier, he said, I create evil. I create all things. So there's no such thing as free will, according to Scripture. Self-will is the word idolatry. I already taught it to you. That is porneia. Idolatria is to serve self or the eyes. Idolatry, that is the word idolatry. Idolatria or porneia. Okay, so you might want to study these Greek words in Hebrew if you have time. If he calls out to your heart, he says in his book, seek and you shall find. And he's not talking about treasure of this world. He's talking about the aletheia that's within that book. Ask. That's why he puts everybody and creates all things, says he's a perfect equator. He pours out a just measure on all. So don't twist, forward, pervert, change, jots, yods to anything in this book, brothers and sisters. You've got to understand under this covenant, God says, again, their hearts are continuously filled with wickedness. And if he didn't call out to our hearts that not one of us from the foundation of the world would, then there is no such thing as being saved, or you have to endure to the end. The Greek word sozo, to be lifted and carried, picked and lifted and carried to an end, healed to an ending point, right? That is the word sozo, salvation, but nobody studies. They froward. Hebrew is the word froward, to twist the word, and he warns us of twisting it. Even one letter, if you take one jot or tittle out of my book, I'll blot your name out of that book. So just as a message, as a messenger of his word, hopefully that I'm a good steward of his word, you'll have a hearing ear and not worried who hears, because Father gives who has a hearing ear. And remember, no such thing as luck if there's no such thing as free will. So it's just fortunes. You can't, God knows if you'll stack the deck. He knows where the dice will land. So you can't cheat God. So that's okay. No worries. Most people, they make up their own shem, their own authority, and they make up their own agape. That's their, he says in the end of days, their agape will be porneia. Yeah. Do you know what that means? Anybody want to translate that into the modern day new mystery Babylonian American? Not English. We don't speak English in this country. There's too much, hold on. I got a frog in my throat. Too much idiots. Too many idiots in America. Too many idioms. Too many idioms. Idiots and idioms. So one is one somebody doesn't know, and the other is Lot was no so involved. Huh? Yeah. That is an alarm, but chills down your spine. If you know the Aletheia, you're like, this has come to her death, didn't she? Yeah. Thank you, Father, for knock, and I will come sup with you. Thank you for this channel, for the sup that we've had. That it's been up for years now, and it shouldn't even be a thing. So thank you, Father, for protecting this protection over this channel and allowing this sup to continue. And iron sharpens iron, so vipers are not allowed. No swine. We can't have it in here. So I don't like cops and pigs and governments and people who like to rise above. That's pride. I don't like none of that. All that sinful mammon nature. Government is the beast, and anybody who works for it's the beast. Anybody gives their authority to the system is giving their authority to the beast. The neuter gender beast system. No one world order. Stop saying that. I rebuke anybody who says that in the head. You fall for mammon. That doesn't say that in scripture. I rebuke you. It only says Lucifer one time. There's a whole civilization of Luciferian idiots, and it doesn't even match the definition that was originally there. Lucifer is not a word. You just made up some mammon word. You're an idiot. You follow mammon. There's whole generations of, I guess by now, well, not generation, but it's been quite a long time by people been forwarding God's agape. Remember, in the end of the days, their agape will be pornea. So I can't help them, brothers and sisters. People think God is in the sky. God divorced his bride because they thought God's in the sky. Yeah, these religious people, they worship Jesus in the middle of the winter. I don't understand what's wrong with them. They're idiots. God is going to throw them in the fire for that. God isn't born in the middle of the winter. Shiloh, Hamashiach, born of Bethlehem, not of Nazareth, from the house of David, who David called the Lamb, Aries the Ram, Leo, the King, the scepter shall not depart from Judah. Remember, he was from the house, he sprang out of Judah. Do you know there's more than one Christ, right? Paul said they will come preaching another gospel and another Jesus. So most people don't know the book. They don't read it. They worship the religious transgender Jesus. Worship pole. The whole world does it. I don't know of a handful of people who don't worship this beast, Satan, Christ, Jesus, baby, Christmas. I'm trying to remember what they call this. Yeah, Jesus, Christ, born in a manger. That one. Okay, we got that right. That one. You don't do any of that perverted crackers and all that religious stuff, do you? Oh man, I feel so funny. The Hamashiach, remember, it was the church who hung them from a tree, and these people are hanging out in houses made by hands. He always declares to witness. He said twice that the Most High, he doesn't dwell in the most high. He doesn't dwell in temples or houses made by brick and mortar, block, stone, 2x4, 6, 8, 12, bartered hands. So that's right. Christ in you. God's not in the sky. People are idiots. They think the Old Testament, all these, remember this Christmas, all this pole worship is the gods in the Mithra, all this orgy, all this people, all this sex and orgy rituals, transgender, Jesus, pole, God, stick up. It's a stick up. Everybody get your decami, right? I don't see who do you love? Isn't it insane what these people will allow when this is all just the same Satanism? It's all Satanism. It's all the adversary. Satan needs adversary, but nobody will define. So you're either with Christ or you're anti-Christ, not the Antichrist won't be physical either. I'm just going to give you a real quick freebie. Nothing's free. Oh, that wasn't free. That's a gem. There's no physical. You're not ever anything physical. You think in the future anything has to do with physical under the other God's test, you failed this testament. Filled your eyes. As his messenger, apocalypse, revelation, I declare, we've already made it to the age of the heirs to the throne of God, the ones that'll be crowned. So this ain't no religion to me. So, this is all about heirs. Somebody has to die to receive an heir. They're an heir to inherit, heir. Hello, McFly, your shoes untied. These people are so in another world, brothers, sisters. I know they think it's me, but they don't love these. The age of Aquarius. This is it. The apocalypse. You made it. The veil is, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I ripped that veil right back. If you have eyes to see, it's only God's will. He'll pull that wool back, will he not? Take and remove the scales, as it says in his word. Only those he gives a hearing ear. This ear is all messed up. Got swatted by the state of Oregon. They're probably coming tonight again. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. They said they were in the chat earlier. If you go look at the live stream earlier, they said, this is Lake County Sheriff's Office, and we're getting another warrant. We're going to come out and SWAT you, and you better stop. You better stop. This is your last warning. Were you here? It's pretty. I've already reported that too. Okay, let's get on. Man, maybe we should just make this a teaching. All right, no, make them look at all this. Thousands of hours of evidence. Why do I keep doing that? They have to look at all this. If that's the way, if they're going to look at the evidence or they're not, they're going to kill me or they're going to look at the evidence. There's going to be no other way. At this point, I don't see any other option. Love you, brothers and sisters. I've made preparedness for my dogs. I ate 5 tear gas canisters last time just for my dogs. If you go watch the SWAT warrant, you'll see I could have exited the building. I said I would leave. They already had called me, said I'll come out without resistance. I'll have my hands up. This is all recorded. The only reason why it's amazing what we do for our kids and our animals, and what we do for the world. For he stood against the Agape, the Shem, the perversion of the law, like what's happening in this case, not just to me, but this community. I've kind of caused the stir that broke the camel's back today, brothers and sisters. I finally put out it in print that there's corruption in this little teeny tiny town and opened up all the worms. So they're really mad at me. So now they're trying to come put a mental warrant against me. But I had a man who delivered this subpoena, and I could have shot him dead, even under the covenant that I teach as a pastor, because you have the right to protect. They had their accusations, and the devil's an accuser. Their charges that they're saying is that if I buy YouTube, so you better be careful because you're evidence now. Yep. They've known about this for a long time, and they'll steal the 180 hours. I've so insisted. I love it. 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 That's even with this guy coming. I asked him about the 180 hours, and he said, huh? And this is supposed to be a guy, if anybody knew about the 180 hours, this is an investigator. So what? Yeah, it's probably going to end up in death of this flesh. I hope not. I want to stay alive. I want to keep teaching you guys. I have some serious passion, brothers and sisters, that I've been contacted by somebody, and they want me to, hopefully I won't be thrown into prison, right? Either not die. Hope my son don't get thrown in prison. I have all the evidence to clear him. they illegally arrested, kidnapped my daughter. But I have been given opportunity to go teach the gospel in prison. So hopefully I can, come out squeaky clean like Daniel in the lion's den. And I don't have any charges right now. So I don't have a record. Shouldn't be any reason I shouldn't be able to enter into a prison and go teach the gospel, because somebody came to me, and I want to say that too again. So Father, you're in charge of that. If you don't want me to die and you don't want me to be here and you're done with this message with me, I'll just keep sending this celestial firmament message of the coming of the King and declaring we're on the line. You birthed me on the line, so I'm going to keep declaring that birth of the age and birth of the old and the birth of the new, and just keep. I'm a mad guy. I know that, Father. I know you made me this way. My will's of my own. So I have to always declare the line. I always have to declare the King is coming. I always have to declare the inheritance. I didn't always get it right, but as he refined, it's a refiner's fire, brothers and sisters. We all go through thalipsis, is the Hebrew word to tribulation. That is part of the suffering. So going into a prisons where people I know, because they're really trying to throw my son in prison, and I have the evidence to clear him, he could end up being one of those people that gets thrown in the prison system and is innocent, and his dad has now been swatted the house and done everything, 180 hours of community service, even more than 180 hours. He's far surpassed. He's been enslaved by the probation and parole system. So I'm a veteran. Some people have to stand in against this authority, but not just as a veteran, because I'm a soldier of God and I don't want a fight. And 6 tear gas canisters was excessive force. I've served as a veteran 6, and there's some outside, and then I don't have it, but I got my eyes pull in on itself a little bit, and I didn't realize it until one of the viewers brought it to my attention, because I don't really look at myself. I kind of look in. I see you guys. I get a little, when I'm on here. So it was brought to my end, and I've called. So let's go to this phone call of me calling, because they could call at any time too, because I have to get through this evidence to try to do this for my son and then the people of Lake County, Oregon, who are being victimized by this Gestapo criminal gang out here from the top down, the Judge Vandenberg. And I've even, Ted Martin has been contacted just on several occasions about the goings on. He knows. So I basically posted this picture, all of this criminal gang right here. This is the gang leader here, Taylor, and his criminal judge that extorts all the bonds for the county, the broker. He's like a broker, if you will. And you got the state of Oregon there who swatted my house. Let's not forget the 29 or whatever, how many 20 plus money came in. I don't think not one of them even knows that my son did all his time, and we can prove that, but they don't care. And then probably the most criminal too of the, this weasel right here is trying to weasel his way out. And I have been in contact with him. We've called this. We've had people from all over the world call this man. Thank you all for all the support. For keep calling, and I just push this guy because he's the one who swatted he's the one who signed the special weapons and tactics with this criminal Vandenberg judge. And so this man has never ever once called me, and I probably have 100 phone calls of him trying to request to call me, even come to my property. I have live streams of me. Actually, they don't send deputies to my house. They do all that anyway. So we're gonna have to get through this for evidentiary purposes, because this today I put this image and it said corruption in Lane County, and I also put a picture of Josh Bezel, because that dude is a punk, man. And going around and stalking people, get the fire chief fired, man. That's pretty low, man. That's pretty dang low. So hopefully Father will, continue to put this protection over this ministry. And if he wants me to stay here, he will. But I got to keep document this for purpose, because I'm hoping somebody will pick this up, even though it's a shadow ban channel, somehow. Figure out how to continue this work. My son will need you. My daughter was kidnapped by the state of Oregon. I have all the proof too. I put it out on evidence that they kidnapped her. They didn't have any paperwork to take her. You have to show cause, probable cause. You have to, under your Miranda rights, if you're going to accost, detain somebody's body, you have to Mirandize them, and you have to, I hope you know your Miranda rights, but you should be quiet. That's your fifth, and your first is to speak up. But more importantly, anything you do and say you will be used against you. The can is part of it, but that's not very important because that's kind of just kind of floats out there. But anyways, you have the right to legal counsel. If you cannot afford one, will be appointed to you at no expense. And so I'm 6 months in, they swatted my house, and I have paperwork. Today I have to show you that too, because I got it. I finally got the paperwork we have to do for evidentiary purposes that Phil Studenberg is not and is requested to leave, not my attorney. And I actually finally got hung up on by Abigail for the first time, because I told her, no, Abigail, I'm tired of this. I know Dan represented me and represented my daughters, so I'm not playing this anymore. So this one was Elijah's attorney dropping off back in July for evidentiary purposes. I did get this one today. Let's go back and try to find it. Where Phil Studenberg, who's never even done anything, I had to call him to get my right of discovery of evidence. So here's proof that they kidnapped my daughter for evidentiary purpose. My daughter was kidnapped. No, she's not listed on this warrant. Adriana is not on the warrant. And you can't give somebody multiple felonies. You have to have an indictment, a secret indictment, and all this. I'm not stupid. I've asked them to stand down. It's probably going to cost me my life. I know the system. People get caught up in it. People make mistakes, brother system. I've been charged before. And had my charges expunged. So I'm not, I don't have current charges, so they can't bring anything up in court on that, but I'm not some kind of saint. I tried to go meet somebody that owed me thousands of dollars, and we met up, and I left with a bill of sale, but it didn't turn out like I thought. Didn't turn out like I thought. I mean, somebody owed me money, and I left with a bill of sale, but I ended up getting my son in trouble, my ex-girlfriend at the time in trouble, and that's what I get for trying to think that I invited the guy to come out on the property that I'm at right now. I have all the evidence. It just, it's even like here they're trying to trash me in the local thing, but it can't be brought up in court, and it's not something that I've ever ran from. I've told on this channel. Mike Miller is a gentleman that I've known for years. I've known him for 4 or 5 years, I think, even when at the time of arrest. He said he never met me in his life, he knew of my son. I talked to him about it. He had called me and about my son is a really smart young man. Dad, don't bother that guy. He already stole thousands of dollars from you. I become victimized to try to help people sometimes, guys. That's how I met Angela. I got a whole bunch of corruption because of this county, because I was actually just trying to go help somebody I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, and somebody was having an estate sale, and that whole big dumpster full of valuable things, and I'm looking around going, no, there's not, and I gave him an offer to leave that day and bought it all from him, and ended up getting robbed. And I don't know, people are always just victimized. I become a victim of people taking from me a lot. I mean, it is what it is in many ways, but that's it is. I don't care about possessions. I care about doing things of a higher, authority. And so, that's what it is, and how I act in that moment. Like I could have shot that guy dead yesterday on the live stream. If you want to see what I'm talking about, because we're going to go over that here in a minute with the delivery of this subpoena for my son. I got to be to court and testify on his behalf. Don't even have counsel. So let's find that too, that the attorney has decided to, Phil Studenberg, they took them 6 months to provide me counsel. 6 months. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, will be appointed to you. They had to throw me out of jail, their county jail, because they couldn't give me an attorney to begin with. They get all this stuff together to swap my house, all these resources, 29. All they had to do is one call to Lake County Probation, one single call to Lake County. Just within that, and they can add that, because I call my attorney about advice to what to do. Elijah's attorney, I've used him for, right? for this, you know, we're going to make a move from Lake to Lane County, and called. And before he knew, he was the attorney for my son in the original case of these evidence of 180 hours. This whole case is about 180 hours of community service that Elijah Werner was given for a theft crime, one of 5 men at the beginning of the COVID. And he served almost a year in jail, and there was a rapist involved, and they didn't put this rapist, and I had, on the discovery of evidence gotten from John Caligo, that he was there at the scene of the crime with the others. That was conviction right there, and this county would not put this rapist in prison. So I am holding Judge Judge Vandenberg, because he's part of this. Michael Taylor, he's the elected sheriff. I've talked to him about the corruption going on in this county. You know, this lady I met, they can get warrants for her. They can put other people in jail for things, accusing people, accusation of stealing things, and get warrants from Judge Vandenberg, Ted Martin. I make calls and I can't get a single action. Not like one call has ever been made to see if Elijah has ever. And even just there's so much evidence that's substantial, it's even overwhelming. If Elijah was owed any more community service hours when he left the community here from Lake to Lane, it would say it on his action plan. They just didn't forget at the end, but that's what they did to him, because he became a victim of his dad exposing the rapists and the probation system and the criminal cops out here that are involved with illicit things that people's wives, sheriff's wives do. And you don't want to hang out the house that the people do these things in a sheriff's vehicle. How stupid can you be? Like sell your dad, the Trump shooter, sitting in the bushes for 12 hours. That's what I've told him. You're done. One call. We can make an actual call. Just following the phones. Everybody, you don't leave your phone. It's like American Express. Don't leave home without it. I'm old school, so you're going to just have to deal with me. Okay? I'm eternal. I don't never end. That's what my dad told me. So Bill Studenberg, this guy dropped out as his attorney, or my attorney. I've got my son's, attorney dropping off back in June. This stuff is so deep from 4 years ago. With just all they had to do is, this is so much waste of the state's money, because they took a 20+ man SWAT team with armored vehicles to come out and ruin this ministry. A man of God, a teacher, a pastor. I pleaded with them not to do these things. I was in fear for my life. I still didn't shoot. The state of Oregon sent 2 men on this property, physically could have killed those 2 men that day, not even breaking this new covenant as a pastor and a teacher, but it's not worth the dirt. I didn't do anything of this sort. I had my phone over here. So my daughter's in here and you're freaking them out and you're stalking this house. Please stand down. Please call. They could have come to the gate. Tracy Werner, this is Oregon State Police. Fuck you, you stupid fucking pigs, cop suckers. Why the fuck are you here? Kiss my ass. I don't go. You don't have any authority over me. I pay you. Stand down. Be quiet. What about Elijah's 180 hours? Yeah, we're here to talk to you about Elijah's 180 hours. Okay. What? Well, they won't talk about it. They won't even do anything. They'll never, ever. We had a community member call and said, I know you got him. You better not try to whack him in there. I haven't talked to him today. And he said, he's again called the district attorney. He said, I'm very alarmed that I have a community member that you have put in jail now or whatever, you put in jail, and 6 months later, you can't provide him an attorney. He played bias with him. He said, I appreciate his call today. I talked to him and he said, well, I just kind of, went along and said, I'm just concerned because that could be me. So he didn't put it up, and he already has, but he called before, and I know you got him. You better not try to get rid of this guy. We know what you did to his house. That was so unnecessary. He's just a boisterous man who stood up during the COVID, held protests because the police department wouldn't stand with Kathy during the COVID. He wanted you to stand up for the businesses. So what if he holds a protest against you? That's his legal right. He has that right. There was no crime committed, and so I have been targeted, and my son is the one who now is being targeted because 180 hours that they said he didn't complete, which is it's an impossibility. He couldn't have left Lake County and went into Lake County until it was completed. I am a quite boisterous man, but if they just would have come to the door we could have probably made some kind of, but they never, ever, ever, still to this day, we're going to go over this phone call of this guy delivering this subpoena. And warning, brothers, sisters, I know my rights. Under the Fourth Amendment, you have the right to be secure in your houses, papers, persons, and effects. Under that title in Fourth Amendment, you have that right. Warrantless search or seizure. Nobody can enter your property without a warrant. I don't care who it is. It could be the federal government. It could be a code enforcement. You've been living under some other world, but in this world, under this constitutional republic, Constitution, it's a democracy now, by the way. Okay. But there's still constitutional rights. You do have that right. And if somebody enters onto your property and you announce to leave, they have to go. If they don't, they can be shot dead. That is the Fourth Amendment right. If you feel like you are going to become victim and they are going to cause harm to your persons, houses, papers, or effects, your wife, your kids, you can deem the force necessary to eliminate that threat of that, whatever they're going to, yes. And you're still under this New Testament. I teach that I would recommend you don't, like I showed reservation and didn't shoot two state troopers, and I don't miss. I'm an expert marksman. If you'd like to look at my DD 214, all marksman, okay? Yeah. Or excuse me, all expert marksman. My marksman is your all expert in my qualification in marksmanship. My bad. Marksman is somewhere down. It's not about that. It's that I don't miss, and I could have shot those men dead, and I didn't. I did not. I put my hand up to my ear. It's all live streamed too, trying to get this to stand down. They're like, my wife, my daughter's wife is in here. You're scared. Stop, and they won't. They just keep her out here day after day after day. We're trying for 17 days to get a file. I tried for years back here to say, hey, why is this rapist running around? And no, my son becomes a target of this, brothers and sisters. At month 33, they told my son he didn't do his hours back in Lake County. That's an impossibility. You don't pay your interest off at the end of the loan. You get in a bar fight with a couple of guys. This guy's got an alcohol problem. You might have to do AA, some anger management. He gets anger management, and you lower the risk to offend. I know the system, and then you get them off. You help them to get off. That's why Lily Frank and Crusher Brunsman, they're going to hopefully have their bond sued and never practice in this. But under this, they both get, these, you don't do that at the end of, 33 months. Oh, by the way, we forgot you need to do some anger management. It's bullshit. And I'm tired of my son in this county and the state and people being victimized by thuggery of the law, like Judge Vandenberg and Ted Martin, who can sign off on these warrants. And Oregon State Police is such an ignorant puke of a fucking SWAT team, my house. And, I took six of these in this house for my dogs and dogs only. If you go back and you want to see the SWAT warrant, they've ruined my eye. Look at it. It's getting worse. Holy crap, man. It is getting worse. I'm going to have to go to the doctor. I said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to the doctor. I'm not going to the doctor. Yeah, they hit me in the face, headshotted me with a concussion grenade, brothers and sisters, for only asking, Elijah, okay? You want to see that? That's 45 seconds. They came hot. I asked them to bring during the COVID, these businesses, protect these businesses and bring out, even if they had to bring armored beasts. Oh, sorry, we're just doing business as normal. Go around our local SWAT teams got their vehicle to death. And now they turn that against me. It's crazy as a man. I'm no different than like somebody who's exposing what you call a red, a whistleblower, or like an Edward Snowden. I was telling people the government was watching long before Edward Snowden. I've been doing this a long time, brothers and sisters. I've been on this platform for over a decade. And so this isn't my first rodeo. And I do know my way around especially the father's Shem through Shiloh. But back to this mammon bull crap. They came in here, and the state of Oregon, 20 some guys who probably not one single one knows that one single word, 180 hours, and what it means. That these are the hours, my son. And still, they just brought heavy-handed, and we pleaded for weeks on end, just freaking the hell out of my son. Without warrant, they kidnapped my daughter, and I think she's taken a charge because they scared the fuck out of her. And so I'm going to get those charges. I already am insisting. I called Dan Spencer today. This piece of shit attorney, he's a public defender. He works for the judge, okay? So does a hired attorney, by the way. I don't care if you give him $1 million. He still works for the judge. Be careful. They don't like men like me. This is the Father in me. All glory to the Most High. Thank you, Father. Double 2 witnesses. This piece of shit. I apologize for my cursing. I'm reaching a. You guys hope you can filter at the end of the days if they take my life that I was just a little bit under stress and I'm trying to keep my tongue, but you'll see. We'll make. Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh man! What? Oh man! Just spilled my coffee all over myself. Let's try that. Oh wow! Okay, give me a second to pick up my papers here. Ow! Oh, there goes. Boy, when it rains, it pours, guys. This is my life. Welcome to my crazy life. So, did that get all over the paper? We dropped the phone. Here's going to be that. We need blessings to whoever just donated. I appreciate it, guys. I don't know what to do with money right now, to be honest with you. I don't have an attorney, and I never did get a single dollar for an attorney fund or dime, but that's okay. God is my authority, and God is my counsel. So don't you be, he said, "Oh, ye without counsel," Luke 12:11. Oh, they throw you in front of their magistrates and their men in their black robes and their synagogues. I apologize for trying to pick it. And ye would be without counsel. And I'm legally a brother or sister. I'm trying to show you that Phil Studenberg quit on me, man. They were supposed to give me counsel and he quit, right? Father's my counsel. Ye are without counsel. Do not give thought on what your answer shall be. I will tell you what to say. Thank you, Father, for Luke 12:11. Thank you for the gospel. But thank you. I told that to Kevin last time when I was there. When they didn't have this guy, didn't show up, and I got told, shut up, this guy didn't show up. I got told, shut up, to trying to tell the judge that he didn't show up. I got told, shut up. I couldn't even explain. And he's word away from going back in. I've been threatened when I came there last time. A deputy come, "You want to go back into jail this time? Don't say anything." Watch. We're going to make it is what it is, brothers, sisters. I'm a bit under. This is like last time. I did this all the way up. I pushed, and then they swatted the house. So they did say they're going to swat the house today, guys. So I do have proof. This isn't a sensational. If you want to go back, I don't need to look into that and see how to do that. I don't even know. I'm glad I took a screen capture. I don't think I've ever actually done that. Maybe somebody can put in the chat, because I know it is something that gets recorded. Is that, oh man, I just made a mess. Oh, my paperwork that I screen captured that Lake County Sheriff's Department making that statement that I need to stop, guys. I need to stop. They're getting a warrant. They're going to swat the house again. So I'm a bit concerned. And now I have reported this too, and I'll show you, to the local department when they're like, "Oh, we'll give it to one of the deputies." I'm like, yeah, but I'm pointing out that these deputies are corrupt. So, man, my eye, guys, it's getting bad. I guess it's not. I guess I didn't notice it, but one of the viewers did, and please appreciate subscriber to bring that to my attention. And okay, so I'm going to try to keep this a little bit separate. We'll see. All right, it is what it is. I just try to keep myself organized here as much as I can. I have this kind of in a fashion here, and I'm doing this for you guys, for the people in America that have, people that will not stand up because they're, and maybe somebody just doesn't have a voice, brothers and sisters. I'm that voice, and I always will be until they throw me in the dirt, brothers and sisters. So here's evidence against the county, against arresting the cleaning lady, and that whole thing I've done on here, Christy, the cleaning lady, and Angela, who stole $25,000 worth of my property, a whole separate case involving Tom Rourke. Why I'm having so much issues today too, brothers and sisters, is that I finally put on my little Hicktown page that these police are corrupt out here, and so they're very pissed. They've come onto the live stream, and there were people in here who witnessed and said, "Stop doing this." enough is enough. We're going to bring the SWAT team. Again, we're getting a mental health warrant. I could have shot this man dead yesterday, brothers and sisters. I'm a meek man, not a weak man. Even under the covenant, I could have done that of this, but I didn't, brothers and sisters. Okay, so I do want to show you that, oh, ye were without counsel. Now I know the Father. Now it took him 6 months after swatting my house to finally get an attorney from a completely different county. And then right here, he quits on me, brothers and sisters. So I am been victimized. There's people within my community. I've had people contact me. Please make sure they go through this phone, that if they come out here or something, I can't give this phone up, brothers and sisters, because it has evidence now that there's victims in this community that are contacting me with actual, I went through and read some of their, people are being victimized. I could not believe I was starting to get people who are standing up. People are very scared. When I called the real estate company, brothers and sisters, when I called the real estate company with these people, because they called him before they swatted this house. Let me show you that. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Here's the evidence. Oh, whoa, whoa. They call this real estate agent owner company that owns a substantial amount of land and sold land out here for decades, I believe, or more than a decade, with this company right here, and calls him. And here's all the information. Their warrant was weak. All right, I'm going to go here a little bit at a time, so I've got to get this back in order. Man, I just messed up all my paperwork. And that's okay. It just all hit the ground. So, but this is the attorney for me after 6 months. They finally get him, and he drops off as my attorney. And I read it today because I didn't see it, and I went through it, and I'm not going to read it again. But it says he drops off, and it doesn't show cause of why. It says he's going to. Yeah, it says it says he has to, I guess, list, it says in there that, or show cause for why he's dropping off. It doesn't. He's just dropping off as my attorney, which he only just recently, he didn't do anything, nothing. He did nothing. So he's not my attorney. He's never provided any legal service for me. I had to call him to get my right of discovery. So, okay, let me see here. Okay, guys, the chat has been, let me see. I'm going to go back through here. All right. Yeah, but I'm not getting any traction over there, Carl. He said, okay, this is Sonia in here. Sonia. Do you know why there's no people? Okay, that was it. Let's take this person out of here because they don't know. Talking about unnecessary things in the chat. Let's unclog that. You can't. Where we go? Boy, this chat is getting hammered. Can't push it with gangs. Shouldn't have let commies take over Oregon. All right, don't be political in there, Glenn, or I'll fire your ass out of here in a country minute. Sound like commie Kate Brown. If it's brown, flush it down. So, all right, I just got to separate this. Okay, so I do need to make sure you guys do know, like I said, I have a following. This will be your evidence. So if you put something in there, I'm warning you. The feds have been noticed, Department of Justice have been noticed. I have had the Lake County Sheriff in here earlier saying they were going to come SWAT the house again to stop doing what I'm doing. Trying to intimidate me, and they would not identify themselves by badge or number or by, so it could be a troll. I don't know. I called, and I'll talk about this on this stream as well. Lord willing, they don't come do it sooner. But I do want to say that for evidentiary purposes, because this will eventually, hopefully, just won't disappear into the woodwork. I don't think so. I think there's too many people who've called from all around the world now, brothers and sisters. I really do, for months and months, and actually just getting a call. Whoa, crap. One of the dogs going to kick it all off and get all that separated. And I apologize. I dropped all my paperwork and I had it all separated and everything just hit the floor. I spilled some coffee on it. So, okay. So here's Phil Studenberg quitting as my attorney. You know, he never did anything, so I don't have any legal representation right now, which is very dangerous. Okay. But here he is contacting me through his office at Phil Studenberg, not giving cause for why he's quitting. After 6 months of the state of Oregon and Lake County, Oregon, swatting and ruining this ministry and this property, they show cause, did not have cause, show cause, probable cause at the time during that day on May 29th to take and accost by Miranda right my daughter, and they kidnapped her. So here's proof, guys. If I die somewhere in between here and the next time somebody, because they're getting close, they said they're going to come raid the house again. So we please say that we show cause that Adriana, my daughter, was not on this warrant, and they didn't show cause, probable cause. It did not list her. Therefore, that was an illegal detention of her body, accosting her body, and you can't do that. And so there's been a lot of victims in this case, and my daughter is still being victimized by this, I'm sure. She didn't do anything. She worked 5 days a week and then started going to work more with my son because he did more than 180 hours. At 33 months, I called my attorney and said, "What the hell, John?" He said, "Tracy, they do what the fuck they want there. I told you. Okay, you're going to like this. Just tell them, you're going to have to document, have them try to, make the calls, and there's nothing, they're probation. You're going to have to get them to give you the information, Well, they don't want to talk to him, John. I know, Tracy, this is how it works. So, but he's going to have to put his head down until you can get it documented, man. And so you're telling me he needs to start doing more hours? So he did. He started doing more hours. He didn't violate any probation. He didn't do anything. He just was not. They said these 180 hours, the whole case is about 180 hours. He didn't complete them at month 33. He only had completed 47, which is 100% impossibility. Oh, I'm going to keep going, Cadillac Jack. I got to, man. I hope your daughter doesn't get arrested by some state thug, pig, cop sucking gang. State of Oregon come out and illegally kidnap my daughter. They kidnapped her on this proof. They said you can watch the warrant. I live streamed the whole incident, and they say she's on here. That's illegal. The whole case should be dropped, but they're going to go ahead and probably swat the house. I hope not tonight. Last time I picked the exact night. I told my son, well, because they were stalking this property for, remember, they came on the property. They could have shot those 2 state police dead, and I didn't. I could have shot 2 state troopers dead that day, and there was nothing the state of Oregon could have done. I'd been pleading them not to keep stalking me. I saw them out there. I showed on the live stream them here in the hills. They were even I have Lake County Sheriff's Office in this live stream, on the last live stream, saying they are going to SWAT this house. So I think I have a little cause for concern. Okay, last time it cost me my vision. I'm probably going to lose my eye. If you notice, this eye is recessed. This one's not. This is where they hit me in the side of the face with a concussion grenade, headshot. And, they shot at, I don't know if they hit my son. I've never seen his body, but you can hear in the warrant, they shoot at my son. It's all just, this corruption is deep, brothers and sisters, and I'm probably going to die before anybody actually, only by the will of the Father, before this gets out of this county. I've tried, and now the state got involved, swatting my house. They don't even show cause on the warrant and legally detain my daughter, throw her in. You have to, secret indictment, all these formalities. There's no way in hell. You don't just come over. They knew she was here. Remember, I just said, dang, darn. Boy, I just keep going in circles here. What's going on, man? I keep dropping this. It's just sitting right there. All right, I'm going to put this down for a minute. I'm getting a little overwhelmed here. But I'm trying to do everything I can to keep my son from going to prison. People rape people in prison. People are victimized in prison. And if I can do this right, hopefully by the Father's will, I won't have any record. This will all get cleared out somehow. I don't know how that's possible. at this point, and I'll be able to go teach the gospel in prisons, not being in confinement, but go to many prisons and not just one. So only by God's will. I know that this is happening. None of this even makes sense. There's no way it's an impossibility, near impossibility, like it's an impossibility that my son did not do his community service hours. That's not possible. He couldn't have left. That was the terms of the release of his agreement. I've called my attorney about it. I was there at the time of his arrest. They can ping my phone. Cellular data will show that I was involved from the very beginning. This is the fact that I'm being targeted, that they let a rapist run around in this community for a year. And I caught on to the fact that there's more rapists, murders, and pedophiles released into some of the poorest counties, or the poorest counties across the United States. This isn't a unique county. So for pointing that out, I become swatted, victimized. My vision has been ruined. And actually, the most thing I'm concerned right now, guys, is how my dogs are going to fend. And to, again, 100% honest with you, if you want to go watch the SWAT warrant of them, I'm just trying to get clothes on and telling them, okay, I'd already called me. I'm like, I'm coming out. I'm not resisting. My son's 180 hours. I need to get I need to call somebody, have a number to someone might have animals. I've got guys, don't please. I had the first one. I have animals in here. One of these is enough to hire a cleaning company, and the state of Oregon knows that. If you fire this into this little cabin that I live in, is 10 by 40 that I built, it's going to fill up with smoke. And they shot 6 of them in here. And I'm having now some respiratory issues that have been brought to my attention, some, different kind of sinus things going on, and it's all part of that. I ate tear gas for 2 weeks straight with my animals and slept in there. I had somebody come to the door after 2 weeks. I got it all out. He's like, dude, I can't go in there. I'm tasting it. I guess I just come kind of immune to it. So I am permanently scarred, I think, inside and out. And my dogs have been victimized, and that's my concern. I mean, I do concern for my son, but on that thing that these are my animals, and I ate 6 tear gas canisters, guys, for my dogs. If you look at it, irregardless, just please don't form an opinion. If you'll go watch the 16-minute and 43-second SWAT raid, all I was asking them is if I could just get a couple numbers so that I had somebody to, and they just kept lobbing them in. So they're tyrants, and they were excessive use of force, 45 seconds. I'm a prior law enforcement. There's something called use of force regulation. When you serve warrants, and there's certain things you need to do properly, and they didn't. And I'm going to go over another telephone call where I'm calling now because I haven't gotten a call back from the sheriff's office, which is rather alarming because I've called to have the John, I'll get his name, who came on my property yesterday, which was all recorded. I've been recording all. Audit your public officials, brothers, sisters, in the capacity of their duty. Okay, please. When they're doing their job, they're public servants, and they have no right to privacy. You have no right to privacy in public, brothers, sisters. You have no expectation of privacy. You have no right to privacy. So if like a cop sucker, tyrant pig is out there on the streets and he's saying you can't fill him his cop car, that's breaking the law. You have the right under the First Amendment. Congress shall establish no law prohibiting the free exercise of speech and freedom of the press, freedom of religion. That's your right of free press. As a citizen journalist, you can audit your public. You should record and stick a camera in their face every single. Maybe these tyrant, cop, sucking pig, gang, thug. When I was a law enforcement officer, you couldn't put your hands in search a woman if you were to do a pat or a frisk, but a definition of a gang was a heavily armed group of thugs. There's number 5 or 6 or more, all going around harassing and extorting the general public, wearing the same thin blue line, the same color. They're gangs. I don't care what the hell they call themselves. That is a gang. They act like gangs. They extort people's capital letter law, some straw man that they don't even know they're becoming a victim to. And 90% of the plus 9% of the cops don't know it either. And if there is 1% who do, why aren't you educating the others that you're enforcing corporate law, not constitutional law, capital letter law, your straw man law, your tax ID number, your Tin Man. You ever see Wizard of Oz? It's not a joke. This ain't a movie. This is your life. You sell your soul to this it, right? You give your authority to it. Are you a corporation? He said he blotted out the handwriting of ordinances in the book of Colossians 2:14. Do you follow ordinances? We're not under that covenant. Ordinance is not a law. I don't go on dates with men. I don't follow mandates. That's not a law. I don't follow codes because I'm not a corporation. And they don't like men like me who port this out, that judge in that black robe is extorting that exact dollar figure right there. That since you were born, your parents made a blood contract, your kin sold you out, made a contract with blood with this doctor to capital letter your name so they can sell your labor on the stock exchange, New York. You think I'm joking around, but this is reality that you're living in. You think you're not, but it is. You don't think Donald Trump knows this? No, he's going to put you back under the Noahide laws. He loves cops, remember? So anyways, they all cop suckers, all these government officials, anybody who serves this neuter gender beast, any part of it. Do you know what the largest employer in the United States of America is, brothers and sisters? Or I'm teaching again. Darn it. Nobody's going to help me. I wish, Mommy. I appreciate your support. It's not going to go down like that. The attorney that they just had 6 months to get just quit on me. I don't have counsel. My father's my counsel right now. He's the only thing protecting this ministry. He's the only thing protecting this flesh. So when you point out these things, you become obviously victimized. They don't like people. There's nobody who will stand up for this community, brothers, sisters. I'm on my last days because I know today I posted stuff on the community page, and they try to get me thrown off this community page, and they're trying to form some whole other warrant over my mental ability. You guys got to remember, think about this. This is how horrible this country is. If they get like 4 or 5 people together, 3 or 4 people, and say you're mentally unstable, they can come out and take you. That's how crazy this country is, don't you, Dan? The NDAA, that's what they got way worse. You remember the Boston Dynamics dogs? Hello, we're coming in. Welfare check. Oh, welfare check. Anybody in there? Nobody's there. Boston Dynamic dog coming in. But no, Boston, remember the pressure cooker with the 2 guys? There first it was some redneck, and there was, remember, I hope you remember that whole, I've been doing this a long time, brothers, that whole NDAA Act, the National Defense, Barry, Donald's buddy, the Island Boy buddies, they share their, their phallics and their rear and all that. We're Island Boys, Mr. Barry. Yeah, why didn't he talk about on his 1.0 about transgenders and one race and all this? Never a word about it in his first 1.0, huh? I think we're being set up, huh? Yeah, I know what's going on. So anyways, yeah, this, brothers and sisters, I'm not falling for this, okay? I'm going to continue to push and push and push against this and keep telling you that the largest employer in the United States of America is the government. And that's the that's the neuter gender beast system. And anybody who participates from the head down, top down, is part of it. And 40% of the United States public works for some form of government, state, county, private contractor. That's sick. That is disgusting, because that is the beast. Say they don't want to point out to you that your capital letter law, that judge is in on it too. The cops are in on it. The district attorneys are in on it. That is called your corporation. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. Like, they can't convict me under this name right here, Tracy, Werner, in all capital letters. I've never said that I was that name. So they're desperate. They're going to come shoot me, brothers and sisters, because I'm pointing out their system is a fraud. America is a fraud, brothers and sisters, whether you understand what is happening or not. This Tin Man, your tax ID number, your taxes are paid for by when you go to work and you fill out a W-2. That is your bond. They sell that labor on the stock exchange. You might not understand. If you do, this will make sense. It's all starts at birth with a contract of, they sold you out, your kin. They had a blood contract with the doctor. Doctors, 2 snakes up a pole. Don't trust one doctor. That's why I'm going to let my eye go bad and I'll go blind in this eye before I ever go to a doctor. So if state trooper who took my eye out, will I ever get to look you in the eye? Will you pay damages for this right eye that you caused? 45 seconds. Elijah, okay? Elijah, okay? Bam! Right in the face. Headshot. Boy, I bet you they were happy about that, weren't they? So they've already tried to take me out once, brothers and sisters. So this capital letter law is part of this bond system under this. Yeah, you ever buy a bond or a treasury? They sell your labor in advance, like Trump Ants or Trump Pence. Here we go again. Same old shit again. Marching down the avenue. One more day. This might be it for me, brothers, sisters. I love you, and I'll be through. They can take my flesh, brothers, sisters, but they can't take this ministry and all the stuff that will hopefully stay continually up. So you guys continually, please come back and go through. There's thousands of hours you can learn from the gospel that I taught here. I know you have to sit through some of the weird stuff or whatever. I go through a lot of information here. Please, don't let this channel die. This isn't some kind of sensational emergency broadcast. I've already called the state of Oregon, the Lake County Sheriff's Office, let them know. You saw in the live stream, I told them to stand down. They were Lake County Sheriff's Office. Stop. Enough is enough. We're getting this warrant together. We're bringing the SWAT team back out again. So please call somebody. And if you know anybody who can help me, please. My life is in jeopardy. My dogs could be shot in the crossfire. But let's go over me contacting them about this Lake County Sheriff's Department calling me. And where'd it go? Do I have another phone? Okay, so let's go over this call for Evidentiary stream. We have thousands of hours that'll have to be gone through. So yesterday, I had my sons, which unbeknown to me, when he entered on the property, I knew who he was, but that's okay. Still has to announce himself. I don't care if I know who he was. It doesn't matter. You don't have to announce yourself. You have to leave and tell somebody to leave if you don't have a warrant. You can be shot dead, just so you know. Under this new covenant, I'm going to teach as long as I can and until they either come kill me or something else happens to me. But under this covenant, Old Testament, God did require eye for an eye, tooth for tooth. Somebody come out and, you had a fight with somebody that killed your brother. You could go sneak in his house and kill his brother. It was eye for an eye. I've never called for any violence. They'll never be able to produce a single stitch of evidence saying, I might said under the Old Testament, I cut your head off and shit down your neck. But that if as I was under the Old Testament, and I won't do that because I'm not under the Old Testament, I teach that we're not under the laws of flesh. Wrestle not against flesh, Paul said, but against principalities, powers, the rulers of the darkness of this world, and spiritual wickedness in high places. And that's who, obviously, that I men in black robes and synagogues and, all these. So, please keep this going. And I'm going to try to produce the evidence here for you to show you that I have been, victimized myself, my animals. My daughter was kidnapped. This county is at risk. The state of Oregon is coming in and acting in the county's behalf. So the whole state now is at risk. This needs to get out of this county. It should have already, as I say when I put on hold, that if I tell somebody that I'm having corruption, and I have had an officer before and have recorded you guys the call and showed you here just within the last 5 days. So go through the last 5 live streams of that lady saying, well, if you're talking about having police corruption, then you got to call the state of Oregon. I said, I have, and so then they come out and swat my house. So, things are getting tough all over out here, brothers and sisters. So let's go into the phone call of me calling about, they sent yesterday on the live stream. Okay. I know I think you're trying to say, I know my Tin Man is not your social security number. What in the hell does that mean? Yeah, that's not how that works. Maybe phonics. Hooked on phonics worked for me. That's reading. Maybe it's just this I or something. Work for me. So anyways, here it is that they're serving it as a subpoena, okay? And if you're going to serve a subpoena, it still has to be done properly. So doesn't matter how it's served. You still have to serve it properly. So I know I have my brother serve subpoenas. I have a cousin, my uncles. I know people. I'm a pilot. I know how this works. So here's the subpoena signed twice by Dan, who put this man whose name is John, who is my son's, I guess, attorney's mogul. I get, I don't know. At first, I'm not sure. But, they do very, very crazy things. I thought this was the day they were going to bring some guy like out and just try to, I don't know. I feel like I'm totally at the threat of a gun all the time now. I've already been. My son's been shot. My daughter's been, kidnapped. I have been shot with 6 tear gas canisters. My eye has been ruined by flash concussion grenade, hearings. You know, I've had a lot of physical damages. I don't want to say I'm suffering. I'm not going to go to the hospital. So I'm just going to try to push through whatever happens. I lose my eye. It doesn't matter. I'm going to got to keep going. I don't have time to be going to no hospital. I don't like doctors. I don't like snakes at the pole. So John Mogul is this person's name who came to this property and went and out. You don't walk on somebody's property, brothers, sisters, private property, which is my property, posted all around this, that I even have a weapon. And that guy was stupid. It says it right out the door. There's a no trespassing sign with an image of a Second Amendment item on him. And he still drove through that, which you can wander on this property. Maybe your caretaker didn't give you your meds and you come on here. You got to leave when I tell you to leave. If you don't turn around, I can shoot you under the 4th Amendment. That is my constitutional right, you know, and that is the right under this new covenant too. He said, let vengeance be mine. So you can't go outside your border. Now, if that person was walking away, you can't shoot them because you have to give them the option to leave. Even if you still have it posted, doesn't give you the right to just shoot somebody if they come on your property. But under your 4th Amendment right, you have the right to be secure in your house's papers, persons, effects. And under that 4th Amendment, there's different titles. That gives you the right to deem them. If you deem them a threat, and it doesn't matter if it's some code enforcement officer, if it's the federal government, I don't care if it's freaking Joe Biden or Donald Trump coming to give you a visit because you love them. Poly, meaning many, and tick, meaning bloodsucker. Politics, many bloodsucker. They can't come on your property without warrant. This is your constitutional 4th Amendment right. So when this gentleman, I'll try to be nice, showed up, he's an idiot, and he almost lost his life. And it's a good thing I could have killed him yesterday, and this whole case would probably go away. But I'm not taking the easy route on this. I'll take whatever God. If they come shoot me, it is what I could have shot that man dead yesterday, brother, sis. Now that's the 3rd person that's come on this property that I could have headshotted, and I don't miss. Okay, I told you I pump too, bang, because I'm a veteran. So first in your chest because I was taught to aim center mass, and I pump second because it's just natural habit of most veterans, and I'm a law enforcement. So unfortunately, I've had an extensive amount of training, more than most people, and I've served under the old type of law enforcement where you couldn't put your hands on a woman. I find it sickening that a male officer can touch a female. That just makes me want to throw up at those cops. Don't protest that. Like they're going to draft our women in the military and you support this fucking beast system. You are a sick, twisted individual. Back to the lesson, back to the fact, Jack. So this idiot public pretender who works for this idiot bar system, bond system, your capital corporal letter, which I'm not, is never arrested under that name. They got a problem. They're going to probably try to get rid of it with a gun, under the barrel of a gun. So this isn't some sensational. This is really happening. I had the Lake County Sheriff's Department come in here earlier in the stream saying they were going to come out here and SWAT my house again. So you can take this seriously, or you can just sit in here and entertain yourself. You know, give them enough bread and circus and they'll just shut up, just like it says in the book of Psalms. Only thing it takes for men, I don't know why it says good, but that's what it says, to evil for flourish is for good men to stand around and do nothing. So anyways, I speak up. What time is it, buddy? Oh, let me see. I got a message here. Cool. I got to get into this thing because they're supposed to call me back, and they might try to do it at that time. Now, I told them don't come back to this property. You know, I got to get in this call, guys. I got to do this evidentiary stream. So I am now calling Lake County Sheriff's in here threatening to come with warrants or not warrant, but SWAT teams and wants me to shut up and all that. And it was on the live stream. So people there witnessed it. That's evidentiary evidence. But let's go into me calling Lake County non-emergency line, trying to get this gentleman who came on my property, who I could have shot dead, which shows they're going to try to get some kind of mental thing. But there was 3 people could have been victims that been never, no birthdays, no next year, dead motherfuckers, holes in their head like a fish disease or something. You ever had a fish tank? Not oxy, what do they call that? Hydroxychloroquine, but hole in the head, like Oscar disease. There could have been 3 men going to the coroner's office, and I never used any kind of threat of that. Or dirt, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to serve the bigger purpose here. My treasure's in heaven, not some stupid cops that don't know how to do that. Stupid enough to drive on a man's property and has every legal authority to shoot him fucking dead because they've been threatening him, even in the chat. Oregon State Police has some of the top snipers in the United States of America. We'll see whose IP address was that. Was that the state trip? They were intimidating me, and that's exactly when they drove by. Instead of shooting them dead, I put my phone, like a phone, hand phone, and had this recording the phone going, my daughter's in here. You're freaking the shit out. Stop. Come to my gate, as I said earlier. So I've never shown any threat of violence. They're the men who brought guns. They're probably going to kill me. And they tried to shoot me last time. They went up to the local restaurant and that said, oh, we're going to get them to come out all violent, and then we're going to get rid of this fucking problem. Watch. Yeah, they came with an A plan. It didn't work out because Father still has me here. So let's get into this because they are going to come when Father says. So let's slow her down a bit. It's okay. It's all in Father's time. He creates all things. So, all right. So I did call, and I want John. I want John Mogul arrested, criminal trespassing, and I don't care who he's with. And this man needs to be understand. That he could have lost his life, and I wouldn't be breaking this New Testament, which I don't care. I wouldn't do that. I'll never shoot somebody over some stupid piece of dirt or whatever. I'm going to let the Father, like Daniel in the den of lions. I'm already in the den of lions. Okay. They've already swatted my house once. My son is in this. My daughter is a part of the victim. The whole county is a victim. The state right now has become a victim of this 20+ man SWAT team, and they don't even want to look at the original charge, what was going on with, why did he get a probation violation? It was the 180 hours that this is not a thing. So that's why I want this man criminally arrested, because I did ask him when he came here about the 180 hours, and he said he didn't know anything about it. And this is this person that's supposed to be investigating the whole case. So he needs to be criminally, and this is the documentation. If they do not arrest this man, they are legally now breaking the law too, because I have the law breaking the law. I have them breaking the law over and over and over. The judge is breaking the law, district attorney's breaking it, but nobody's going to look at it probably until after I die. So I'm not asking for death. I want to go into the prisons, not being confined, and teach. Many go from prison to prison and teach with the mobile ministry. I'm hoping Father has that in store, not bullets, and my dogs can get shot because of this shit, man. They've already been a victim. I took 6 of these tear gas canisters to make sure I had somebody to call because I didn't know what was going to happen to my dog. So that was all unnecessary. I had talked to them. Evidence will show. They called me and I said, I'll come out. I need to get some numbers. You can hear me screaming at them. Please, I'm trying to get I have animals in here. I'm not being violent, no threat. They thought they'd come out here and shake me, brothers and sisters. That's why they pumped and hit me in the face, and they just kept pumping that thought I did get pissed and fuck you, motherfuckers. Oh, you get you and your little dog, Toto, too. You ain't already pulling the veil back on that. That day ain't going to get, I'm apocalypse, brothers and sisters. This ain't about dirt to me. Mammon. Father is in control, even though I've showed you that this attorney quit and I don't even have, and I'm just going to keep doing one jot, one tittle. I hope this is his will, if not my own, to protect not myself, but put a covering, removing the cover of the lies that's been going on in this community, being victimized. I do have people, you need to keep this legacy alive because somebody's got to get into this phone. There's been people now, and I haven't contacted them back. I opened up the can of worms today. The reason why I think it's going to get why I did, because I put postings online about these cops, Judge, and there's a lot of these farmers out here. They're in cahoots with these cops, and this is the worst thing I ever could have done. The worst thing I ever could have done was put it on the local little page. And I knew it when I did it, what it was going to do. So I tried for weeks, and documentation record will show when I called multiple people, I said, I don't want to put this information out forward into the public, and I have the right to do that. I have now had victims contact me in this community, brothers, sisters. So please don't let this die, because somebody needs to get into this phone. If I end up being taken out, the physical flesh, that That'll never end, brother, sister. Don't you worry about that. That somebody needs to get in here and find out who these victims were and what happened to them, so their stories don't die, brother, sister. This should be national news. It's 16 minutes and 43 seconds on May 23rd. You'll notice, just if you go back pants, okay, go way back in there, and you're going to get to a set that's just the cover page, right? Just the cover page with just the little logo of the sunset. And then there's like a big burgundy border around it. It's the first one in that list, 16 minutes and 43 seconds, about, I don't, God, this dog knows, guys. Come up here with me. He knows something. Something's not right, man. This dog is very damn smart, and I don't know what the fuck he's trying to tell me, guys. And I'm not trying to sit all get over. Dude, he's freaking being weird. What? It's not that time, guys. Not even close to time. You want to go out? I let you out, and then you want back in. Thank you. Coming inside, yes, your boy. I'm trying to get warm, get the boy. We got enough fire to make it through the night. I don't know. Let's see if we got enough wood in there. Okay, so I kind of got to set the stage here to get this done, to try to get this recorded. This gentleman, who his name is John Mogul, entered my property criminally yesterday without leaving. I told him to leave, which makes this actual service of this, it's not valid as a valid service. And I have that on video, because you have to, if somebody tells you to leave their property, brothers, sisters, you can't just shoot them. You got to give him a chance to leave. And he didn't leave. He continued to approach me. If you'd like to see that, that was yesterday's live stream. It's a 51-minute video. It's towards the very end of the video where he shows up. So you might want to go to the end of the video and kind of work. I think I come back inside too. So, but if you want to see this, what it's like to get yourself shot, be a complete idiot and not listen to somebody in a country town like this, most people would have shot him. And if I did shoot him, brothers and sisters, I think that I could get this whole case dropped just with that. Because they'd realize, hey, they keep coming here and have put multiple people's lives in jeopardy under the law, but I'm not applying my Fourth Amendment and Second Amendment right, and I could have legally already 3 times, or well, to 3 people. Legally, I do not feel like it's not a threat. I didn't do it. That's my point. And so even if they came and tried to say there's something wrong with my mental ability, bullshit, fuck you, kiss my ass, bitch. I fucking didn't kill 3 men. And I could have legally, so shut your fucking mouth about my mental state of being. I didn't kill a man, and I had the right to. 3 men? He could have stopped way back there with those 2 state police, and then I never would have got my fucking house swatted. Think about that. I wouldn't be permanently scarred. This ministry wouldn't have been wrecked. My windows are gone. They shot my windows out. I have some, and the tops are... I get them taped up. I can't replace them right now. I don't have the time to pull the whole thing apart, and the way I built this, it's just not possible. So this dumb shit keeps walking towards me, and I could have pulled out a pistol, which I wasn't armed, and shot him dead in his tracks. And there's nothing the state of Oregon could have done to come out here. There's nothing the county could have done. That man would have, his family. I don't know if he has a family. I don't care. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was actually worried about my safety, him shooting me. At the time, he kept coming forward. I didn't know exactly. That's why I kept telling him, stop. And I'm watching his hands to stop talking, because he's trying to sidetrack me. He was being weird with his fucking hands. I'm a prior veteran. I'm a prior law enforcement officer. You watch their feet and their hands. So let's get into this video. Thank you, Father, for not letting me shoot that guy and saving those 2 state troopers. You did it, Father, not me. You made me a meek man, and I know I could have killed them, and I would still go, and I would, the judgment when I faced it would not be even into this too, because that's more important. You know, up there is more important to me than here. But even in this dirt law under the Constitution, I have that right. So they keep, brothers and sisters, I'm at their what they're doing, and only by the will of the Father. This could happen at any time, because I have proof that they said in that Oregon, I'm going to talk about in this thing, that there was earlier Lake County Sheriff's Department in the chat room came in and told me to stop. Enough is enough. We've seen it. Okay, we're getting a warrant. Guys, think about this. I've tried to tell you this. If enough people say something's wrong with you mentally, they can remove you medically. Yes, they can. Oh, yes, they can. That's why I said, fuck you, Lake County. Fuck you, Ted Martin, you piece of shit district attorney. Fuck you, you criminal Judge Vandenberg. I'm going to come pastor to you when you're in prison. Wouldn't that be ironic? Try to throw me in prison. Maybe I'll come hang out, 10 years after 15 years, come see you, see how you're doing. This is insane. Fuck you. They're not wrong. My medical ability or mental stability or my judgment. I didn't kill 3 men, which I could have legally under the Constitution. I think your judgment is clouded. I'll stand on my words. So please don't shoot anybody, brothers and sisters. It's not even worth it, but you have that right, legal. Even under this covenant as your teacher and your pastor, and he said, turn your cheek 7 times 70. Right? So please give somebody a chance at forgiveness. I gave this guy a chance. He kept walking towards me. That was been his own fault, brothers and sisters. People like this get shot out here in this town, and they disappear out here too. So lots of holes out here. So let's get into this phone call. I am insisting, and so they're supposed to call me back. Nobody's called me. They didn't call me back yesterday. So I called to find and get an update, and I wanted an incident number, and look at the freaking runaround these assholes will give you. And this is some little pud who's got he's a dispatch. They could hire a freaking android, some little robot to do a better job, just like most of these people who work in parole and probation. You ever try to call the probation department? Sir, stop yelling at me. I was saying that I was click. The fuck? Yeah, that's how they are. Snowflakes. Anybody ever been a victim of parole and probation? Somebody give me a what? Isn't that how they treat these? They treat them like dogs. Come here now. Bad dog. Go away, bad dog. They treat them like freaking dogs. So yeah, a robot could do a better job. So I'm calling the non-emergency dispatch to try to get a number from yesterday to get an update. And I want the incident number. Look at the bullshit it took me and how long it took me. It took me 10 minutes to call out this weasel to finally say, is it illegal to give it to me? And then just give it to you. I'm stop fucking playing games with me. I didn't cuss at him, but generally pretty cordial, brothers, sisters. This is, Bluetooth mode. This is how I am. I'm not going to change for anybody. I am who I am, and Father made me who I am. So I do this in his service, not in the service of my own. I do this in the service of the country. I do the service of the community. I do it service in the people who can't speak up, who have no voice, who've been victimized, and they're being pushed down. And he said, go out and hang out with be with the downtrodden and the sick and the widowed. Do you understand? And this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to stand with the people who don't have a leg to stand, a voice. You heard that person call in, I can't call. I got a disability. I said, shut up. I don't want to hear you're below me. Leave. Get out of here. Don't use that as some kind of crutch. Oh, so these people got multiple disabilities, so they're less than me? Get out of here, you with your disability. We're all equals, brothers, sisters. I ain't trying to be above anybody, so. Bluetooth is connected. See, now the dog wants out. I know something's going on with this dog. My dog is changed. What's up, bud? I love you guys. I know. Dog's got strong intuition, guys. That's all I can tell you. My dog is not acting normal. So let's get into this phone call for evidentiary purposes. I'm calling Lake County Sheriff's Office to try to get an update on who this guy was yesterday and tell him I've got the information. And to give you this, I'm just reporting the incident, guys, and I know they're gonna call, but there's a certain, when I'm asking for an incident number, you just give somebody a request. That's not a hard request. This dude ran me around for 10 fucking minutes. So this guy is a pile of shit. And seriously, I don't mean to be so harsh, but you gotta run somebody around for 10 minutes to where it finally took me to get the incident number. It's like, it take me to rope the moon, if you will. So let's get into this. Phone call.
Lake County Dispatch.
Is this the non-emergency line?
It is.
Okay, I called yesterday. I'm calling up for a follow-up for the incident number. I called yesterday. I called about a gentleman who came on my property. I have his name, and I want him arrested I have 2 criminal different crimes that I want to report. Okay, I have this all on video. So I'm not going to settle for you're not going to do anything. I don't care who this gentleman's name is. John Mogul. Okay, I called you yesterday and nobody ever followed me up to tell me if this man was pulled over, arrested. Already some serious negligence to follow up to let me know anything. I told you that this gentleman approached me in a very aggressive manner. I just showed this video to about 20 people. Okay, and nobody said that they didn't agree that he should have turned around because I asked him who he was. Right, he didn't identify. I asked if he had a warrant. It was actually the very first. Oh, darn it! I guess are we going to start over? All right, we're start over. Yes, my bad. Very first thing I asked him, because he drove on my property. It is marked no trespassing. He drove on the property. I said, "Do you have a warrant?" He said, "No." I immediately told him to turn around and leave, sir. That is a criminal. Why does my phone keep doing this? Trespassing.
All right. So I am the glorified secretary.
Okay, so I still want it taken care of, though.
So I just need to know what's your address, what's your name, what's your phone number, and I'll pass it along to a deputy.
No, I want an incident from yesterday's. What's the reference from yesterday's last incident? You didn't do anything. I want the incident number.
I remember correctly, you said you did not want contact.
I want the incident number. I wanted you to go arrest him because he came on my property and now I have his full name. So I want him arrested today. I already called Dan Spencer, sir. I've already called the attorney.
So therefore, you did not want contact after he got contacted. So therefore,
I didn't say I want contacted. I said I didn't want anybody coming to this property. Okay, I didn't want anybody coming in. It'll be recorded. It's a recorded line, correct?
I can get a deputy make contact with you and give you that number.
Okay, I said yesterday I didn't want them coming here. I never said I didn't want any contact, whether he was caught or not. That will be recorded, sir. So if you would like to change the fact that will be recorded, you'll be summoned into law. I just received a summons, sir.
That is fine.
Okay, well, don't sit there and blow off what I'm saying. I want the incident number from yesterday.
And I'll pass along to
I'm recording you, sir. I'd like the incident number from yesterday, please. I'd like the incident report number.
Have a deputy make contact.
I would like the incident report number from yesterday, and I would like to report another crime.
Okay. What's something other than Mr. Mogul?
I would like the incident report, please, from yesterday's incident that I reported.
I can get a deputy to give that to you.
You cannot give that to me, sir? You can't give me the incident number?
Well, I've got to report this crime to the deputy today for John Mogul.
I want the incident report from yesterday, and then I will give you more information on this case. I need the incident number first.
Okay, so I will get a deputy to make contact.
I want the incident number from, sir, I've been a law enforcement officer. You're not going to sit there and I know you take.
Sir, I understand.
Will you just give me the incident number, please, and I'll continue to give you the information on the case.
Why is it so hard to talk to a deputy, sir?
Because I'm reporting that they're criminals, sir. You don't have any understanding what's going on in this case, do you? I'm being targeted by these police departments, sir. So I'm recording as a prior law enforcement officer. I am documenting evidence, and you will not give me an incident report.
The only thing I can do is get you to a deputy, and if you don't want deputy contact, I can do nothing for you. So therefore,
So you're saying I cannot get, I've called the non-emergency line to request the incident number from the report that you said you took yesterday, and you're telling me you can't give me an incident report number. I tell you I'm getting targeted by these same deputies that you want me to have call me back. That's already a conflict of interest.
Right. Is there, the main thing about in my position, sir, I'm a dispatcher. I sit here, I take your information, I give it to a deputy and or whatever other department.
Yes, and as a citizen who's reported a crime, I am entitled to get the incident number. You should never hold that back. That should not be held back from me. So I'd like the incident number now, please. Please give me the incident number. This is my last. I've already called Dan Spencer to let him know that I want whoever that Mogul, his last name, so you can get the additional name. His name is Mogul, John Mogul. I want him arrested today for criminal trespassing. I have the video showing him being told, do you have a warrant? He said no. I asked him several times to leave the property. He wouldn't identify himself. That is called criminal trespass. I just reported a crime, and you're going to become part of this, sir. You are going to get summons to court for not doing your job, and you're going to have your bond sued if you do not do your job. I just reported a crime. Now write it down and take it and give me the incident number from yesterday, please.
So, sir, therefore you're reporting a crime.
And I've asked for the incident number first.
I am a dispatcher. I cannot do such a thing. So therefore, I need to get it to a deputy. When that deputy gets that information from you, he can give you that incident number.
We're so used to covering.
You don't. Hey, you're telling me you don't have that incident number on your screen.
Not on my screen right now.
And you can't look it up. And as I'm requesting it, as you, the person who took this call yesterday, cannot. You're saying you don't have the legal right to give it to me, correct?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, well then give it to me now, please.
I can have a deputy give it to you also.
That's my last request, sir. I'm asking you one last time to give me the incident report number from yesterday, please.
Okay. I will have to get out of this screen and get to that screen, so bear with me. Please hold.
He said he couldn't do that.
You're being recorded.
See? I already told him he was being recorded too, so.
You see, I'm being targeted by these people. They want to give me to them. They're coming out to my house. I'm only requesting just the incident number. This is the gentleman I spoke with yesterday, who I know he's just a dispatch, but it's not. I'm only requesting the incident number. So this shouldn't be, remember, is that legal? Not? He can give it to me. I already reported the crime, so this is what I deal with.
How many minutes did it take for me to finally tell him I had to go legal with it? Is this insane? Are you witnessing this? You let these people walk and talk on you? I don't.
All you have to do is give me the incident number. That's all you have to do. If he's just some robot, then somebody makes a request, you just give them the request. If it wasn't legal, then he say it's not legal, sir. I can't do that. I mean, it's why all this other runner, they cover their own tracks by doing this. So nothing happens. Like nobody called me back yesterday.
Nope,
I never said I didn't want to call back. I said, don't come to this property.
That's what I said.
I'm going to have to sue this man. He's probably bonded. And unfortunately, I try to give him a chance. You see, I try to be patient. I'm not making an unreasonable request. And this is how I get treated. He should tell me, sir, we can't police ourselves. You need to get a hold of somebody outside the, okay, he's just a dispatcher, but you can't police yourself. They shouldn't even be taking a report of somebody within their own department that's doing illegal activity. That needs to be taken. So I'm glad I'm recording this phone call. Man, I wish I'd recorded the phone call. I just called Dan Spencer, and I'm sure he recorded that too. So I let the gentleman know that I did call Dan Spencer about having John Mogul arrested for criminal trespassing onto my property when I asked him
Nobody's
to leave.
called me back today, brothers and
multiple
sisters.
times. I have it on
No
video.
cops
He did
gave
not
my
leave.
number and still no call. Like no call yesterday.
So,
and
I now wanted to report to the
criminal behavior.
Lane County Sheriff's Department saying that they're online
on video.
on my report, but he's just some. See here, this is.
Sir, are you still there?
Yes.
All right, here's the incident number, and I'll have a deputy may contact you by phone. 2411250032.
Okay.
The DA was notified that you were in fear for your life for anthrax scare yesterday.
On this live stream, that as I'm recording these incidents, saying that they are Lake County Sheriff's Department. I have asked them to identify themselves because you're a public servant. You have to identify yourself. They would not.
Mr. Werner, I am and like I said, I'm a dispatcher.
Okay, well, I reported it to you as well.
So therefore, it's on a recorded line.
Absolutely, thank you.
Go back, you guys. The stream. Go back and listen to that.
Line on my report, but he obviously reported. Now I have multiple witnesses because there were many. I report, but he obviously he's just some.
2411250032.
Okay.
The DA was notified that you were in fear for your life for anthrax scare yesterday.
They've already dusted me with dust on this property, tear gas, left residue, powdery residue already, all over my house.
Okay, yeah, I have the incident. It's all recorded. Now I have multiple witnesses because there were many people in the live stream. The other thing that's very alarming, you have somebody coming on this live stream that as I'm recording these incidents saying that they are Lake County Sheriff's Department. I have asked them to identify themselves because you're a public servant. You have to identify yourself. They would not.
Mr. Werner, I am and like I said, I'm a dispatcher.
I reported it to you as well.
So therefore, it's on a recorded line.
Absolutely, thank you. And you're being recorded as well.
And any crimes that have been committed, it is their jurisdiction to take that up with anybody that you have issues with.
Okay, well, I'm having issues with the department, and nobody called me back yesterday, so that's why I'm having to kind of pursue this in the fashion that I am. And the way you ran me so long to just give me that incident number, sir, but I appreciate all your time today. This is not an emergency line, so don't worry about somebody else, but I don't want to waste your time. Can I have your name, please, again?
I'm Ronnie.
Ronnie, okay. Ronnie, I really wish you would have just been given the request that I was asked. I thank you for your time. Yeah. I've reported 2 crimes to you, just so you know that. Well, and they have the number to call me back at, correct? Tell them do not come to this property. It is posted, do not come onto this property. Let the deputies know I have a phone and they can call me via phone. I will make contact. John Mogul arrested today. He entered my property, criminal trespassing, and you do have somebody saying they are Lake County Sheriff's Office on the internet. That is either them or somebody's impersonating. That is a federal crime, so you should probably take note of that and give that to the DA as well. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I will have a deputy make contact with you so you can point that out to them, okay?
Okay, make note to give that to the DA as well. Thank you, Ted Martin.
Tyrant thugs. You can hire a robot to do a better job than that knucklehead. You hear that? You know how long it take me to get an incident number, brothers and sisters? I'm calling them, and I have the right. I filed yesterday. They didn't call me, so I didn't get a call back. So I need to start with the incident number. How long did that knucklehead run me around before he actually gave me that incident? He told me he couldn't do it, and then he turned around and did it. You see the hypocrisy? You see how they cover for themselves? Oh, I'll give it to the deputy. Yeah. It's a big runaround, redneck, Billy Bob system out here. And they do what the fuck they want. This happened in your country, America. This happened in probably in your county. If you got more rapists, murderers, and pedophiles in your county, if you're in the poorest county, that's how this whole incident starts. Starts with 180 hours. This gentleman I asked yesterday on the live stream, this is supposedly the man that's going to be arrested for criminal trespassing, is my son's supposed attorney, but I have paperwork showing that Dan Spencer is not my son's attorney. So I didn't know who this was. This guy was aggressively coming at me. I could have made this a death, but I chose not to do anything of the sort. And so I'm showing you that people become victimized. You know, this man could have lost his life because of some piss poor attorney. Some piss poor attorney. Yeah, imagine being me in that situation. So now you understand, Pants, why I held off, because I wanted my yachter pants to make sure that Dad had somebody to take care of. I ate 6 of these motherfuckers for my dogs. You can't change that. I'm ruined. Look what they did to me. Did you see that at 45 seconds? Did you see them concuss my face? All I did was ask if Elijah was okay. It is what it is, man. Thanks for watching it, Pants. You got to keep this going for me, brother. You got to keep it going. Okay, if I die, something happens. They already died. Did you get that phone call? Did you just come back in? No, this is a father's doing. Father's got to be father. It's got to be father. Father's working in you, Tracy. Please, somebody tell me this isn't me. Please tell me I'm only doing the will of my father. This can't be about me, Pants. This can't be about Elijah either. It's got to be about, or they illegally, see? Look, and now I'm showing you because you watched it. Remember? They said they kidnapped my daughter. They kidnapped my fucking daughter, and I think she took charges, guys. I think my daughter took charges because she's scared. She's never been in trouble. She don't have no record. They scared the fuck out of her, and I think she did it so she could go be with her husband. Would you take charges like a misdemeanor or something if they break the no contact order so you could be with your wife and your husband, you could be back together again? Would you take a charge, a misdemeanor charge or something like that? If you knew you could get the no contact order broken? I think that's what she did. And she don't have anything to do with it, brothers and sisters. She's not on the warrant. Man, she's not on the warrant. They called and said she was. They said she was on the warrant. She's not on the warrant. They kidnapped her. This case is so deep. Did you know what I'm saying? Did you see? She's not on this warrant. Did you hear them shoot at my son? Did you hear them shoot at my son? He said, I've only watched it ever twice. He said, why are you here? Why are you taking me? What about my 180 hours? And why would they do that to him? And where did those rounds go? I don't know if he has. I had to play stupid the whole time. Thanks for not shooting my son. Thanks for not killing it. I don't know what was going on. I had to get Adrian out of there. And I pleaded, we did the right thing, Adrian. You did the right thing, Adrian, sweetheart. Go peacefully, sweetheart. Go peacefully. I never call for arms. Go peacefully, sweetheart. I'm glad they didn't shoot her. But they didn't have warrant for her arrest. They should have never taken her that day. I don't think they planned on taking her, Pants. I think they plan on shooting me. And that's why she wasn't listed on this warrant. They didn't plan on it turning out that way. They didn't plan on the father intervening. Remember, they came and to this little town and bragged about how they're going to get rid of this problem out here. This big loudmouth won't shut up. That's all they keep trying to do is get me to shut up, brothers and sisters. So now, Pants, if you could just do as a witness, we got to just work this as much as we can. Did you hear the incident call to the Lake County Sheriff's Office that I just did? Or were you watching the video? I know. I thought, Pants, I thought I was going to get shot. I got to be 100% honest with you. I won't lie to you. I thought when I went out that door, that's why I was trying to document. You guys aren't going to shoot me, right? So that if they did, it would have been their negligence. And then, they'd already shot Elijah. They'd already concussed my face. And, yeah, it's hard. You got to go through it a couple times there's so much happening so quickly. And I'm in the moment. You can obviously tell that gas was affecting me. I was trying to keep my bearing, but I'm worried about my daughter. They'd already shot my son. They didn't intend on coming out here and it going that way. I know that. And I think that my daughter not being on the warrant is proof of that. When they heard me say I was live, they were like, oh shit. I really 100% with all my heart believe they thought they can shake me out of here without that live. Get here quick enough because I know they were watching my phone. It was 17 minutes that I went to bed that they'd showed up. And I told my son they were coming. So I knew in my head and I had told him and I don't know what's wrong with my dog. He's not the same, guys. After this incident, I love him, but he won't stop looking at me. I love you, buddy. I mean, he's kind of got an attachment disorder, but he's just
today he won't stop. He got to get right next to me. He got to whine. I love him, guy. I love him, guy. That's been my biggest worry, brothers and sisters. If something happens, and I've already made arrangements for my dogs, okay? I've called multiple people to make sure that they don't become a victim already more than they already have. So I'm going to go ahead and give them an early dinner. I don't think that's it, but I don't know what else to do for this dog. He's very uncomfortable, agitated right now. He keeps whining. He won't stop staring at me. He keeps getting up and looking at me in my face. I don't know if something is going on. I can tell my vision's getting pretty bad in the side. My physical body is starting to be affected from this. Okay, and I'm trying to keep it together. So I do apologize again for some of the weak mouth with the cursing and stuff, but I got to just try to keep pushing through this. So, yeah, I think he knows something's up, man. He's such a smart guy. He's been with me for 14 years, guys. I'm so happy to have him back. I really wish I could have just held off when I pushed all this in and said, all right, I had to do this, brothers and sisters. They want to, this judge said, I have on record, if they pulled all the records of me in court, they'll have this judge, Vandenberg, criminal judge Vandenberg, saying that he would drop this case in this month of November. That's why I pushed everything I had, like I did before, when I said, no, son, I'm not going to let them throw you in prison. We'll get the evidence out. We'll get this evidence to somebody. Will hear it. Somebody will pick it up outside of the state, outside somebody with the Fed. I don't care, son. We got to, for the good of this. We know there's other victims just like you. I appreciate everything you've done, son. You just did 300 fucking hours, Elijah. They'll be able to document that. No matter what happens, they'll ping your phone. They'll get witness. It'll eventually come out. There's them, restricted. It's them. This is the police. Asked him to look into 180 hours. That's why I said that at the end, pig. All right. Gonna have to come back here and show you guys this phone call here, cop sucking pig. Hello? Are you there with me? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, hello?
Tracy, is that you?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Tracy, is that you?
Who is this calling? I'm getting a call from restricted number, so I don't know who this is calling me.
Yes, this is Deputy Sam Birch with the Lake County Sheriff's Office.
Oh, man, how would they call you? Hey, what about Elijah's 180 hours, man? Can you hear me? Are you the guy, Sam? Are you the guy who took me down to Lake County? You never did anything about this, man. So now I'm reporting more criminal behavior in this county. Okay?
Okay, what can I help you with, Tracy?
Well, first of all, I need you to make an incident and figure out how are you going to correct first these 180 hours that you never ever...
Yeah, I'm not going to go over that with you, Tracy.
Okay, so we'll go over the other incidents. So you have somebody on my live stream, which you were on too. Remember, you said you were on. Either you, Lake County Sheriff's Office, it says Lake County Police Department, it says it's you, are telling me to stop. You guys, can you hear me okay? I'm about to, this cop, tell this, Sam Birch is the one who took me to jail, guys. This is so ironic that they're going to have this cop sucker. And I call him at the end. He hangs up on me. So can you hear me okay? I'm giving you this call. This is me. This is the restricted number calling me. Okay, I apologize. Hang with me, guys. Is that you? Is that the right Kevin? Is that the right Kevin? Okay, anyway, so I'm reporting this. He calls from this restricted number. I had to stop the stream. Okay, let's continue. This is the guy who took me to jail, guys. And I told him, come on, be a hero. Just look at my son's 180 hours. So did you hear? I already mentioned Elijah's 180 hours twice, every time I do it. This is enough. You're going to SWAT my house. So is that you guys? Because I asked them to identify themselves.
When was this, Tracy?
This
You're not gonna
was
believe
today.
this shit, guys.
And I have this on screen capture. You know what my... What's that?
This is the first time I've called you today.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying there is somebody on my live stream, because you know I live stream everything.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, that's your biggest mistake you guys made last time. You didn't get to shoot me like you thought, did you? So anyways, we'll move on. I'm a pastor. You guys ruined my property too. Do you realize what was been done out here? Do you know I still don't have legal counsel? Do you know that? I said that I'm reporting the fact that somebody has said that they are Lake County Sheriff's Department on my live stream. And they are saying that they are going to SWAT my house. So now I'm asking you, is that your department?
No, sir.
So somebody, I need to report that is a federal offense as for impersonating a police officer. Are you aware of that? Deputy who works for me. So you better start doing your job. Okay. I'm the victim here. Okay. They're telling me they're going to swap my house. You guys with the state of Oregon, do you realize that day they took Adriana without show cause for her warrant? That is criminal. Okay. So you have somebody impersonating your police department.
Can I say something?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
The ORS for impersonating a police officer?
What's that?
Have you looked up the ORS for impersonating?
No, that's a federal offense.
No, it's a state law too.
Okay, well, state and federal offense. You can't impersonate an enforcement officer of the law in any capacity. Okay, so I don't need.
Have you? If they're doing that, that's technically does not fall under the ORS, Oregon Revised Statutes of Impersonating a Police Officer. If you'd like to read that and then get back to me, so you're clear on what an ORS actually is.
Also, somebody can be a police officer, right? Somebody can just impersonate a police officer. You're saying that's legal under the Oregon statute?
Depends on how they do it, Tracy. But
he said he was going to swap my house.
Okay.
Is that legal? Is that legal, Sam? Is that legal, Sam?
That is not impersonating a police officer according to the ORS in Oregon.
How do you impersonate a police officer in Oregon? What does the Oregon statute still say?
I thought you said you knew.
I never said I did.
Yeah. Okay. What else can I help you?
What does the Oregon statute say? You work for me. I'm asking that request. Fill my request. You work for me, please.
I do not work for you.
Yes, you do. You're a taxpayer public servant, bonded, correct? And if you don't serve me, I'll sue your bond. I'll audit you by. Okay, the second incident, I would like the crime that I'm reporting. And if you don't go do this, because I've already reported yesterday, would you like the incident number, or do you have the incident number on this case to yesterday's reported incident of John? His last name is Mogul. He entered my property. I want him immediately arrested for criminal trespassing. You can go on the live stream and you can see him enter the property. I asked him if he has warrant. I know my Fourth Amendment right, so I have my right to be secure. You can't even come on my property without a warrant, without proper warrant signed by a judge. I have the right to be secure in my house's papers, persons, and effects. This John, who I didn't know who was at first, entered to my property through the gate where it is posted not trespassing, and he exited his vehicle. I asked him if he had a warrant. He said no. I told him to exit my property. He still continued to approach me. I didn't know if he had a gun. I could have shot him dead. Do you understand? Under my Fourth Amendment, and I would have not been breaking any law because he kept coming. I'd had multiple people look at this video today, and he was very like a bear coming at me. And if I don't, his hands, I'm a prior law enforcement officer just like you. Do you watch hands, Sam? Do you watch feet, or do you get complacent? Do you check the hood every time you walk past a vehicle, Sam? Or do you get complacent? That's what gets a law enforcement officer, complacency, Sam. Well, this John Mogul works. I don't care who he works for. I want him criminally arrested because when I told him to exit my property, he didn't. Cut and dry. Go arrest him now, please. I have if you can go look on my live stream, he continued to pursue. It doesn't matter. You don't need any more information. Correct, Sam Birch? You don't need you can go look on the live stream to find he continued to, I've told him multiple times he wouldn't identify himself. That is criminal trespassing, correct, under my Fourth Amendment. And even if I have it posted, I still have to tell him to leave, which I did multiple times, and he didn't. Is that not under the Oregon statute and under my Fourth Amendment, the right to be secure in my house's papers and persons and effects?
warrantless. Can't come on my property without a warrant. When I told him, asked him if he had a warrant, and he said he didn't, tell him to leave, and he didn't turn around. Is that not criminal trespassing?
Depends on the situation, but I can read on with
situation.
No, it doesn't. There's the law is the law, okay? And so I want him criminally trespassed and arrested immediately. His name is John Mogul, and I have the video if you'd like to go review and do your investigation. If he's not arrested, I'm going to continue to pursue you, Sam, on this case. For you already not doing your job, Sam, because I'm reporting this incident, and if somebody else comes on this property...
I'm proud of you for recording. I'm recording too. You have the right to record. I have the right to record.
Did you just say you're proud of me? Did you say you're proud of me?
Yes.
Pride is a sin. In case you haven't, I'm a teacher and a pastor. So remember, my judge is the Father, okay, too. So you guys try to be stupid and come out here today.
What else can I help you with, Tracy?
I want to know when John Mogul is going to be arrested for criminal trespassing. I'd like to know when you're going to pursue, because you got notified yesterday, and apparently you haven't done anything. That was yesterday. Now I'm calling to report again, and so now I want to know when you're going to do your job. Remember, you work for this. You're a public servant. You're a tyrant is what you are, Sam. You should have done something when you had me that day. You could have done something, but you continue to be a tyrant. Cop-sucking pig. Do your job.
Okay, I'm hanging up. I'm not going to talk.
Well, I have that freedom of speech, remember? If you do your job, maybe I wouldn't have I have the right as a veteran.
Bye, cop-sucker. There we go.
I don't care, brothers and sisters. I will not become a victim. This was the man who took me to jail that day, and I tried to give that man a chance.
I did.
Do your job. I asked him to look into 180 hours. That's why I said that, pig.
There you go. That's how you talk to a fucking tyrant, brothers and sisters. You tell him that you work for me, you pig. I'll audit you. I will record everything you do. I'll put in a Freedom of Information Request Act, and I'll look at your file, your disciplinary. I'll put in a Freedom of Information Request on everybody in your department and see all your salaries. Brothers and sisters, I've been patient with this county. Enough is enough. Okay, whatever you think, drone. How many incidents has this gone? How many years is this? How many years is this? I could have shot 3 people dead. You don't know me. Dead under this covenant. Teach the gospel in here. Let's see if you're a pastor. Tell somebody what the gospel is. Are you a pastor or something? Are you going to pass judgment? Remember, I appreciate righteous judgment, and that is the word orge. Orge. Did you know that? Do you teach any Greek? Orge. Can you spell that word for me? Spell it for me, desert drone. Teach in here. Iron sharpens iron. I teach the thalipsis, not your easy peasy cotton Sunday Christian sex transgender Jesus biscuit ritual Catholicism Christian. Are you Christian? I rebuke you. I don't teach this other gospel. I understand the book. I appreciate righteous judgment, but how many years is this? Do you have any idea what you're talking about? 2 cheeks to the same hole. You can take that one somewhere else, because this is about a community doing God's will, not the will of my own. Why are you making this about me? You don't know me. Have you studied this ministry? How many hundreds of hours have you spent with this ministry? This is my first time seeing you here. High desert. Are you here somewhere in Oregon? Are you just some troll in Lake County trying to troll my chat? I don't sup with vipers. 2 snakes of a pole. Leviathan, that crooked serpent. I'll know you by your fruit. Go ahead. Let's see what you got. I will condemn you. I'll judge. I'll not by your cover, whatever. There, I'll know you by your fruit. Put some fruit. I appreciate the righteous judgment. I teach that. Iron sharpens iron. Go ahead, spit. Come on, Leviathan. What are you, serpent? Are you Antichrist? Are you with Christ? Who's the Hamashiach? Tell me something. Teach the gospel. Do something for this chatter. Please leave. You're wasting this time that's so already written from the foundation, prognosko, from the foundation of the world. So, can you spell orge? Can you spell anything? How about, what is the word hell? Give me the definition of the word hell. Let's see if you can start with that. Let's see if there's any busos in this desert rat. Whistle pig. Copsuckers. So, anyways, 4 years into this incident, brothers and sisters, this county was put at risk by a rapist who ran free while community was put at risk. Now you're
boasting. Your anger is not right. Okay, High Desert, please leave now. I'm trying to be nice. I don't want you here anymore. I gave you 2 chances, and keeping the word, leave. If you put anything else, I'm not even keeping the covenant because I'm not supposed to sup with vipers. He says, love thy enemy like thy love. I'm already casting pearls. I shouldn't do that. I should get you out of here. That's what I teach. So you're not making a difference. God creates all things, correct? God writes all things. So you quit making it about me. Figure out there's something going on in this chat that's just, it's not about me, man. Or gay, you know what that means? So stop and leave, please. Girl, don't go away mad. Just go away. Or you mammon? What are you? Just leave. If you put anything, it's okay. I'm not worried. The Father will pass righteous judgment on me. So I don't care what you think. Jimmy Crack Corn, my master, you can't serve too. I think your master is another gospel and another Jesus. So you couldn't teach anything. So, all right, goodbye. Get behind me, stiff Peter. So, anyways, thank you for coming in, brothers and sisters. This is the documentary evidence of Sam Birch. What'd you think of that? What'd you think about the conversation? You cop-sucking tyrant, you work for me. You pig. Sue! Corporal, capital letter law. Capital letter, you be lived by the sword, you die. He still sell your cloak and die. Believe a sword, a division, an enemy would be one of his own, a man's enemies would be one of his own household, or one believes. Believe any thought in your head. So your cloak by a sword. That believe is a sword of division. He didn't come to bring no peace. Peace. He said, do not think I came to bring peace on this earth. I came to bring a sword of division that will divide a household. It will separate. It will divide a mother from her daughter, a son from his father, a mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, a man's enemies to be one of his own household. This is the word, brothers and sisters. I think we got a piece of easy Jeezy up in here. This other, the word is orge. It means quick to indignation, quick to wrath, quick to anger. So there's some validity in what that desert rat said. So, but brothers and sisters, he hasn't spent 100 hours here on this channel and realized this is 4 years of me and this county being victimized. I just reported. Does anybody want to make a I just reported that somebody is on this live stream saying that they are the Lane County Sheriff's Department. And he said that's not against the law. Saying they're going to swap my house. He said that's not against the law. How is that possible? And I have the screen captures and everybody in here. And there was multiple incidences or comments that were being made. So you can just impersonate a police officer, I guess, and just go around, hey, I'm fucking this, fuck you. Or never mind, sorry. Well, no, that's what they do. Your pocketbook extorts you. Take that, you bond, you straw man. Let me give it to you deep. Take it deep. So, yeah. So, anybody want to make a comment? I know that's a little hard for you to watch. You're not used to a man of God sit there and tell a pig to his face, somebody that's perverting the law. That man is enforcing capital letter law. You just heard him tell me that it is okay for you to impersonate a police officer under the Oregon statute. You can say you're another county and I'm going to come in and I'm going to swat your home and I'm going to get warrants for your arrest. We're going to get a bunch of people together and have a stop doing this. You can impersonate cops, I guess, in Oregon. It's okay. I got to get out of the state, guys. This is incredible. I got to get my son out of here. Somehow, man. Father, please prevail. Or do whatever your will. Never mind. Do your will, Father. I don't know what I was thinking. I have a moment of weakness there. Oh, Father. All right. Yeah, I slipped. My bad. Do your will, Father. Do your will. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. So anyways, no comments. All right. Well, I'm going to keep recording. Actually, I should probably go put some gas in the generator and charge my phone up and get my phone charged back up. And I should have got some gas today when I went into town. I don't even know if I have any left. Okay, well,
thank you for coming in. Anybody want to leave a comment, or do they just shadow ban my channel? They always do that. I'm not concerned about it. It's all still being recorded. Father sees all things. Getting close, brothers and sisters. Getting very close. So hope they all, hopefully I'm wrong. I'm not always right. I don't always get it right. So, God, my eyes are killing me. This right eye is getting very bad. It's getting hard it's just getting harder and harder to see out of it. I guess it's starting to suck in, but it is what it is. No comments? Wow, that's incredible. Sit there and listen to that stream, and they must be shadow banning this, because there's no way you guys just heard that and you can be okay with that. So I do appreciate the support of this ministry. No matter how long it's here, please go back and watch. There's thousands of hours of educational and probably some stuff you just might blow your mind. A lot of work's been done on this platform. There's 20,000 followers over on the TikTok platform at Predestined for Light. This is the former channel, Predestined for Light. Now it's High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries. But man, I cleaned up in here the other day and I found a tear gas that I didn't. It was hiding behind some egg cartons. So you have to excuse me. I'm kind of suffering. I'm having respiratory problems now. And a viewer brought to my attention that my eye is really getting bad. So I didn't realize it because I just don't really, to where when I look in the screen, I kind of see through. I try to, in my brain, I mean, I still see my face, but it's who's on the other screen. It's who's with me. It's, this ministry is not about me. It's about this body of Christ that comes here and sups in this narrow way that it's not being taught any other place than Grace and Truth Ministries. You had to find Jim, brother Jim, him or cuss. He don't like, probably, he probably wouldn't like me very much, but because of my cussing. But I did thousands of hours streaming, never cussed at all. And I'm under a considerable amount of stress. You just heard me report that I'm reporting that somebody's impersonating the sheriff's office, saying they're going to SWAT my house, which the state of Oregon has already swatted my house, saying that they're going to. And so I report that, and they say that's legal. So I don't even. I'm kind of in some kind of and I know it's like that doesn't even seem right. And then you hear me I'm reporting this criminal trespassing, and well, in some situations. So I don't. I hope my son is doing okay. I love my son. Elijah. He's a good young man. I love Adriana. I hope she's figured out somehow to make it without her husband. These last 6 months have to be very difficult for her. And she's become a victim of this as well. So my poor dogs have been victimized in this community and whatnot. So I have to stand. I have to stand with this country, the good people of this country, the good people that don't have a voice. And so the people in this community are being victimized by the law enforcement officers. And so I just, so hard for me to imagine how somebody can impersonate a police officer and it be legal. So I'm just still kind of that's very surreal. So there we go. Anxiety's a local here. I'm fighting the state of Oregon again. They're going to come swat me again, they say, under the guise of somebody being in this live stream. And I have it screen captured that they are Lake County Sheriff's Office. It says that Lake County Sheriff's Office and Department, Lake County Sheriff's Department, and that it's okay to do that. You can be in Oregon. You can impersonate a police officer. Well, this is real fucking life. These people, Storm, are kind of, I've already been swatted. So who's real, who's not? Like this guy shows up to my house. Who's this, who's not? He even said that this is 100% trespassing. You can go watch the live stream. This is 100% criminal trespassing. Well, it kind of in some job. Go watch the live stream. Go watch that man. As soon as he gets out of his car, do you have a warrant? No. leave. I told him 4 to 5. I told him to stop talking and to leave. I'm watching his hands going, these guys going to pull a gun out at any second and shoot me. And I didn't. I'm getting taxed, guys, a little bit here, so. Well, my physical, some of my physical is starting to, I might consider going, I don't want to go to the, I see, look at that back and forth on this. My physical body is starting to take toll from all of this. So that was yesterday. It was 51-minute video. It was towards the end of the live stream. It was probably, closer towards the end. What was that other one that I was watching the other? I was watching something that was an hour and 14 minutes into it. Oh, I've tried to take a vacation, Storm, for 6 years now. Originally, this whole get out of here. Even my son's like, Dad, do you realize after, my family came, my brother, my younger brother came and stole everything from me. Everything, my son's things, everything I'd ever worked for to come out here and do this. When I had all this dream to come out, I told you guys, you might not know this, but my family came and stole everything from me. And they're millionaires. They got lots and lots of money. They don't need my money or anything, but it's bigger than that. But so I come back here to nothing, and my army tent, it's just everything's been taken, and the last few things that were here, whatever got picked off by the locals, just things disappear out here. They grow legs. If they're just going to sit there forever, it happens. That's kind of how Elijah got tangled up in that thing with that rapist. But Elijah, my son, God, I miss that young man. He said, Dad, you haven't taken a vacation in 5 to 6 years. Do you realize that, Dad? I said, no, I didn't that. He's like, yeah. Do you realize I can't get you to come to my house for 3 days? That's the longest you've ever taken. And then you were trying to get out there the second day. I gotta go. These towers it's too much energy for me. It bothers my back, and I feel like, and Dad, you've never even taken time off in 6 years. You haven't even taken any time off. You need to take a vacation. And he's the one who told me, Dad, you need to take that gold and silver that you got and just sell it. Stop waiting and trying to give something to me. And I know you want to get the land paid off, but you should just go live now. You have people that would love to see you on the road. You'd be fine. You can take the dogs on the road, and you could go collect all those books and do all those things that you want to do. Why do you just stay here? You should sell that gold and silver you have and just go on the road. You worked so hard out here and you didn't get anywhere. And I know you got Poyer because you worked and you tried, but you tried for 10 years, Dad. I know you tried to build this homestead. You didn't fail, but go live your life. You want to go on the road. Dad, you always said you can just get a backpack and let the wind blow you wherever. Remember, Dad, God would provide. You didn't need anything. The roof over your head, the bird not worries what it's going to eat in the field, all those things. You'd go, Dad, like a bird. So I tried, Storm, and then I got robbed, and it was like, all right. So I sold my stuff, and I called him, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to come over there. I'm going to get a little truck, and we're going to take the extra money. And I went to go get and then I got robbed again. To go over there. Actually, I was going to take a vacation. I've tried multiple times, and every time I try to leave, something like this happens. So I don't know. God keeps me where he wants me, I guess. I got to stay here and fight this in this den of lions and thieves, and hoping that he'll protect me. And if they take my flesh, it'll be a bit of a relief. I just so worried about my dogs and my son and my daughter. And this ministry too, because I know people come back, but there's thousands of hours you can look through, guys. They can't take away the teachings. They can't take anything that I've ever taught you on this channel. I think hopefully the channel will stay up so you can keep coming back to, High Desert Faith and Truth, and go back through think about all the hundreds of hours and hundreds of hours you've missed. You haven't been here to see all the nutty Pastor Apocalypse go over whatever he's talking about, or, I'm always obviously very celestially is my forte. It's what he asked me here to declare the line and the lion. So we already, we're out of water, now we're into air, and the air is the kingdom of the throne of heaven, and that's all this life is about to me. So they can't really take anything from me that they can't take back the lessons. They can't take back the words. Like I just called that cop sucker a tyrant, and I don't feel bad about it. And he's a pig, and I can't stand the fact that when he rode me down to Lake County, I told him to look at my son's 180 hours. So sometimes I come off as very rash or strong, and just like oh, you're not a pastor because you are quick to whatever. People can think whatever they want of me. I don't persistently. I'm not here to be liked. It says if you are loved by the world, you be hated by my Father. So I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to do the will of the Father, declare the King is nigh, and look up and be wise. And the gospel is what's most important. And then obviously being a good steward of this meat suit, whether I want to take it or not, that's not an option. I got to endure to the end to be saved. So no matter how tough and how the struggle and the battle that he makes it, I know that he's the wind in my sail. He's the captain of the ship. He commands this ark, and with the building of this ark and what I've done, and there's a lot of sense of accomplishment. So I don't feel like I've been shorted. No matter what happens in these next days, weeks, or months, if I live that long, we'll see. I might not make it to tonight. They got people saying they're going to SWAT the house, and they're saying it's not Oregon Police Department. Is it? Or the Lake County Sheriff's Department? I don't know. Was he on duty when I don't know. How is that somebody can say they're going to SWAT your house, say that they're the Oregon Lake County Sheriff's Department, and do that and get away with it? Everything is so twisted in this world. So I'm ready to go. I really am. And I hope that if I do go, that my son can hold on and find his way through this hellacious world that we live in, and that somehow my daughter and him will be back together again someday. I don't think that they're have any contact still to this day, because I know my son is still supposed to have some trial here, and there's no way they could get ready for a trial in the amount of time, because I've never even had anybody call me and investigate the 180 hours. So that's why I told the supposed attorney that is not his attorney, that it was my attorney, which that's not legal, which is my daughter's attorney, which they took without warrant. And somebody pinched me. Am I really still alive? Am I really still here? Oh, Father, please let your will, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. So, all right, I better get off, save some battery. Maybe I'll go. I better maybe get a bite to eat. I don't know. I'm just teetering down here a little bit, guys. And I do appreciate everybody being a part of this Evidentiary stream. So, maybe someone's new a court of law. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney if you get out of Florida and want to be appointed to. Yeah, right. They ain't give me an attorney 6 months after squatting my house. You just trampled on my Miranda rights over and over and over again. If you're watching this, because I'm pretty sure they're in there, you trampling on my Miranda rights, that's just the tip of the spear. So I've been very demanding. As I told that cop sucker, you work for me. You're a tax-paid public servant. Don't let these tyrants take your crown, brothers and sisters. Don't go by capital letter law. God is not capital letter law. His authority is narrow, is the way. So that would be first the capital letter, and then a smaller letter, and a smaller letter, a smaller letter, a smaller letter. Broad is in all capital letters, correct? So I'm going to use the word of God to defend this ministry right there. That's why I stand against these police cop sucking pigs, and they're bonded. Your bond is what this judge extorts. So we'll see. We'll see if these judges get to this tyrant Judge Vandenberg, who I cannot wait to see turn around, put his hands behind his back, and go be locked up do a stint, maybe 10 or 20, couple decades. Maybe one day I can go pastor him in his filthy, disgusting pig you are. You're part of this pig cop sucking bond. Judge Vandenberg is a tyrant and a criminal. I cannot wait, if the Father so wills it, to have him put in prison, not out of vengeance, but to protect
this community and the state. And then Ted Martin is a criminal district attorney who I keep calling the weasel. I've already called outside Trip. I've called the feds. I've called the Department of Justice. You guys are going to have to, can't do it, guys. Somebody's from an outside source going to have to get a hold and say, this guy is he's going to die. I'm probably going to die before anybody calls, guys. I'm not trying to be sensational. I have Lake County Sheriff's Office, and they say that it's not them, but then they say you can do that. I don't know. I don't know. This is they're going to SWAT this house again. They've already caused physical damage, and my health is deteriorating, whether I want to admit it or not. It is. I mean, I can't. You don't breathe CS gas for 2 weeks straight. You'll have permanent damage from that, and I am permanently damaged. My eye, my ear. This house, this ministry. My dog had to be taken out of here because the tear gas was so strong. So they might do it again. They say they are. You see me call on this thing, call the police department trying to report that I've got people coming on this property that won't leave when I tell them to, and that's not a crime, and they could just come here, it looks like, at any time, just do whatever they want. So they kind of already have. I still haven't been able to replace a lot of fencing. All my livestock kennels were knocked down, and I'm a farmer and a pastor and a teacher. I have a homestead and a ranch, Silver Rock Ranch out here, and they ruined that. And all the livestock kennels coming in and blowing out of here. My windows are shot out. So I as a matter of fact, I better get some more wood in the fireplace, guys. It's starting to cool off in here because I don't have windows on the top. They shot them out. So I have to keep wood in the wood stove, and I better go charge this battery, because if they come swap my house tonight, I need to be able to live stream that. And hopefully hopefully they don't do anything stupid. I will not resist. You have my word. I won't, although I call cops pigs and copsuckers and tyrants and stuff. That's not, I have a First Amendment. Like when they swatted my house last time, I didn't, nobody went without any kind of resistance, zero. Actually, the only reason that, if you go back and look, that I'm experiencing this is hard to believe, because it is what it is. I was talking to somebody today. The only reason I ate 6 of these tear gas canisters, 5 to 6 of these tear gas canisters, was so that I can get 2 telephone numbers so I could get somebody to take care of my dogs. I've been physically scarred, not because that's to see if my son was okay, my hearing, but this, I took on 5 to 6 of these. I don't remember. There was a lot. They shot more than that because they missed and hit the shutters, and they broke out some hit the seam of the window and broke the window. So I can't even try to replace like the glass in it. They broke the casing around the window casing. But I ate 5 of these for my. So please, guys, don't let this die. Somebody maybe. I have contacted people that will hopefully come take care of these animals if this happens again. So, God, they're good. And these animals are wonderful. And I appreciate Father for making our pets for us. There's a reason why I call it man's best friend. And my kittens go. I got kittens. I got good kitties. She's such a wonderful little girl. My little split face chimera, and my old John Old Don. So thank you, Father, for the pets. And if something happened, that's just my biggest worry. I mean, I have my son, but all right, I'll leave it at that. That's an evidentiary stream against Lake County Police Department. My life is in jeopardy. There's probably a better chance that I will become a victim and I'll lose my life. This flesh, they'll probably come in here and just go hot like they did last time. It only took 45 seconds for them to start shooting at me, and my son got shot. And so it's probably going to happen again, guys. Yeah. Trip, just do this after I'm dead, please. If I die, will you continue this, please, work? You know what I'm saying? Just please, I'm not being sensational. Just stay on this channel somehow. Okay, look, movie, listen to me, please. Today, I know I'm getting close to my end. Today, I did something that I know shouldn't have done. Today I posted pictures of the judge who's in cahoots with these farmers out here and all their wives and all. This is a little farm town, hick town. They like these cops out here because they supply the things to help them go round and round in circles and stuff. So, they're involved in it. There's a lot of stuff going on out here. So I put up today, are you a victim of police targeting? I have people who I have not contacted, brothers and sisters, that have contacted that if their information is in this phone. We cannot let these people get this phone because they'll go through this phone and try to delete these victims. There's many stories. If we could just get somebody from outside the state of Oregon to come here with not retribution, seeking legal or literal Gestapo behavior, like shooting you and stuff out here. If there's could have some anonymity, I do believe this would go federal mainstream. This shouldn't be in this court right now because it's conflict of interest. I'm pointing out I'm a whistleblower of the corruption in the town, and now I'm being targeted. My son's being targeted. And so that's a conflict of interest. That should be filed for a change of venue. And that should every time in like on that. Okay, hold on. That's my dog. So because of police corruption, this should automatically be kicked out. But I've called the DOJ Fed. I've called the DOJ state. I've called, Tina Kotek, my governor's office. I've called there's a victims line for people just like this where there's corruption, and I've called it and nobody will call me back. I think they have control of my phone, and maybe these people are calling me. I don't know. I have people coming in saying they are Lake County Sheriff's Department going to SWAT my house. And I just called and they said it wasn't them, but they say that's legal to do. And if there's not breaking any, I'm going to lose my life before probably this is up. I know that there's a good chance I'm going to die. I'm not asking for any kind of death. I want to go into the prisons, not into a prison. I want to go into the prisons and make this ministry for the victims of things just like this. I do this for the people who have no voice. I'm a veteran and I have the right to speak up. But anyways, I pushed everything as far as I can push. I'm going to need an outside source. Otherwise, I will be victimized by my state, who has already swatted the house, and the Lake County Sheriff's Office, who is known, if you just look up this county, for being very corrupt. So they are known for this. This town is known for being corrupt. When I called my son's attorney, the original incident, Elijah's 180 hours, I said, Elijah's here. He said, Tracy, if your son was in any other county in the state, I would have him out today, but they're corrupt there. They do whatever the fuck they want. They're Billy Bob. And that's proven to be 100% correct in this case. So if the father wants me to die, it will only be by his will. So I don't mean to, but because of the incidents and their heavy-handedness of already shooting at me and shooting my son, what is the chances of them not doing it again? It's better that they will. And they did try to get me come out of here with a weapon. They planned on having a standoff. That's why they brought so many fucking cops out here in state police. 29, I don't know how many armored vehicles. And it blew right up in their face backwards because if you watch the raid, nobody was resisting. Everybody went with arms up. Everybody was no resistance, and everybody went peacefully. Nobody gave there was no stand, no guns involved, no weapons, only a phone in the hand was the only, just to try to record the live. Which I'm glad that I did. I believe it kept this ministry going. So okay, so just all I can ask you, because I think you've been in here maybe before, maybe it's just your name sounds a little familiar, but maybe you've been in here multiple times, I believe. Please keep this ministry alive. As I said, there are victims who are contacting me now in this county that are contacting me because I put out the problem. I'd probably be okay if I did not put out on the Christmas Valley United. You can go see it if you can get on the Facebook page, local community, Christmas Valley Community 2. There's 2 pages, and Kiss My Ass Christmas Valley, which is the 4th that I posted pictures of the elected sheriff on the state trooper seal below it. To the right, it was Judge Vandenberg and then Ted Martin, or either or, with corruption in Lane County, and they're freaking the fuck out.
in this county. They're losing it. I caused a massive stir in town. It's not good. It's the worst thing I should have done, and I knew it and did it anyways because I'm doing that. I remember the first time I did that like 20 years ago or whenever, when the internet said it. Oh, I can't take that back. You know, it's like they can't take back the bullets they shot at me, you know, and everything that's been done. So, cops protect cops, government establishments, cops, government establishments. So, I am in Lake County, Oregon, in Silver Lake, Oregon, and my house has been swatted off a walled road. They've wrecked this property. They've wrecked this ministry. You can go see all of this. Ross, I got to go take a break here. I'm getting a bit worn out here, man. Ross, love you, brother Ross. Help keep this ministry alive for me. Okay, sir. In a way, just make sure, as I said, there's victims on this phone that are crying out for some help. I put out on the local page, the community page, which is probably the worst thing. I know this is what's going to be my demise more than anything. If not, Father will protect me like Daniel. But that's the one thing that I knew I've held off trying to do. And I've told you'll find that back, if you'll go find that, I gave them warning. I said, look, I need to get this cleared up. Make me put this out on the community page, because when the community finds out about this, this is going to tear open a can of worms, and it's going to peel out everywhere. And that's what I did today. That's what I did today, brothers and sisters. I went ahead and just sent out on all 4 of the community pages, and they are just losing their minds in town. This little teeny tiny town got a lot of farmers' wives and a lot of people in the pockets of the cops out here, and their cops and farmers kind of go run hand in hand. And so when you expose their corruption, they'll shoot at you, obviously. So, and they'll bring in a state SWAT team to try to kill you. They went up to these restaurants that I stood up for the COVID, because I'm a veteran, to try to help get protection from the police department, and then turn around and use that same equipment I asked for against me. So my name is Tracy Werner. I've never been arrested under a capital letter name. I'm not a corporation, but I have, my son has been victimized, and I can show with substantial amount of evidence to clear that he completed communities through hours over and over and over. There's hundreds of hours of live streaming. You're just doing apologize, guys. I bring tear gas for worse. I'm getting worse. Try not to, but I felt my health is deteriorating. As you can see in my eye, that this is the eye that took the damage, and that it's starting to lose its, I think something's going on in the back of the retina. It's starting to sink in. You don't see that on this eye as you do. There's definitely, something's going on with my retina. So my eyes are just shot. I cleaned some gas the other day, tear gas, that I didn't know was in here. It was behind a box. And ever since I breathed I sloughed it, and it just went in my lungs, and I did breathe it for 2 weeks straight. So I'm probably have some kind of lung something going on, and I'm so stubborn that I won't go to the doctor. And but I do appreciate people who Lake County, Oregon. It's Lake County, Oregon, not Colorado. State of Oregon. Oregon. So, all right. How much battery we got back here? Okay, cool. We still got a minute here. So, all right. I better get some wood in the fire. I have they shot out my windows, so I have to keep the fire going out here. If they come out here tonight with a SWAT team, I'll go live like I did last time. Everything on this channel, all the evidence to clear Elijah Werner is on this channel. All the evidence to clear Adriana Masse is on this channel. All the evidence to convict Judge Vandenberg of Lake County, Oregon is on this live stream, and the hundreds, thousands of hours now of documentation, documenting the criminal behavior of the district attorney out here, also in cahoots with The criminal judge, I have proof. You just listen to it. I mean, there's so much information. This should have never gone this far. Only by the will of the Father has it made it. So it must be to take everybody from the top down, but only by his will, not out of vengeance, but hopefully out of their position of a seated authority, like the elected Sheriff Michael Taylor, who has put this put this county as victims or at risk to a rapist. And this is all really how it started as well, with the name Tony Karsten. Research that name, please. He's a rapist who served 13 years after being sentenced to a 25-year prison term for being high on methamphetamines, raping a Hispanic woman, and robbing her. So this case starts with that, and this is what they're not wanting to look at. That rapist ran free in the county for a year, and I made the biggest stink in this county, and they do not like me for that. And I've never let up, and my son has been targeted because of that, and all the proof is here. You don't need any more. There's thousands. I'm a prior law enforcement officer. There is thousands of hours of evidence to prove that this county should be taken and put under special investigation. And I've already called the Department of Justice. I've already called outside agencies. So I'm doing everything I can, and hallelujah. Thank you so much. All right. I like that. God causes them to expose himself. That's where I stay wonderful. Okay, cool. Yeah. There's nothing that shall be exposed. Every reveal. So hallelujah. Apocalypse, brothers and sisters. Pastor Apocalypse. Okay. Pastor Revelation, like he just said, revealed, to reveal the truth. It will come out. The Father, one day, he will pour out a just measure. He doesn't give us all the same measure, brothers and sisters. I hope that you're standing up against the perversion. It could even be with like, no, we're not doing Christmas. No, we're not doing these fake. That's not the law. We're not under that law. You know what I'm saying? We're not under that law. You know what I mean? So, thank you for coming in. Appreciate all your time. Don't worry about your eyes, brothers and sisters. Your eyes is what will steal your crown. Okay? Idolism and imagery. He warns of idolism and imagery. The hope he warned about a man with the red hat. Talk about a man with a red hat. So maybe you're distracted by the worldly things. Don't let that distract you. Don't let mammon. He says you can't serve two masters. You can't serve mammon and God. Remember, he said, I am the way. That was the narrow way. I am the truth. That is the word aletheia. And I am the light. I'm Apocalypse. Please keep this ministry going. Go look at the pastor's teachings here and go find somebody that can help. They destroyed a ministry, and not permanently, but scarred. I am scarred. My animals. I am super concerned for the safety of the community out here and the safety of the state, not just this community. So this is a state issue, not just happening in another state. Give you a little homework, if you will. Go into your state and find out if you live in the poorest county. Report back to me on this. You can help. There's things you can do. I'll get rid of BH there. Find out if in your state, if in the poorest county, there are more rapists, murderers, and pedophiles in that specific county. I'm sure you'll find that in many states that's exactly the case, because this isn't just the only state that is. They get paid to have these parolees and rapists and murderers and pedophiles to be released from the prisons into the poorest counties. So I stirred up something that I never should have, that they think, but I'm not going to. I have every right to point that out. So if I become a victim of it, it's because they martyred me, brothers and sisters. They martyred me. So I'm not calling for death, but these people are very violent criminals, and they use Gestapo heavy-handed, calling in the state of Oregon. I believe they tried to pull a Lavoy Finicum on me, brothers and sisters. Remember, they shot that man to death. I did make it through the last swatting of the state of Oregon, just like, but I don't know. Lavoy Finicum, although an American hero, is not a pastor or a teacher. So maybe that's the only thing that they didn't get me last time. Maybe he'll cover me again this time. So blessings to all who provided support to this ministry, and I appreciate it. stay in the narrow way, and let no man. It's just irrelevant to me. It really is until Christ returns. Stay girded in his service. Have your lamp be burning bright, brothers and sisters. That day when he returns could be hundreds of years from now. You could die today. And when he says the dead rise from the ashes and the dust, I want you to have your loins girded in my service till I return. That's the day of the Lord. Yeah, a cosmos and orderly arrangements of trumpets, if you will. Thanks for letting me blow the shofar. I am Pastor Apocalypse. I am Pastor Revelation. Whoa.